Hello, the peoples.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good evening.
Whatever it is.
Considering...
Does anybody really know what time it is?
Yeah, because...
Time and relative dimension in space.
What the hell? What's that one?
What?
There might be an echo. I'm going to check our stream because...
I don't hear it.
Neither do I.
No, I'm going to check it in a second because...
Don't
really
yell
weird.
at me.
Something really weird's going on. I don't know what's going
Hello,
on.
the train freak. It's stuck in your head, Steve. Oh my god. That is so good.
Oh my god.
That is amazing.
Oh, I was here already.
Oh, how? We've got 6 people on here already.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Contaminants here.
Yeah.
Well,
At least we're not getting audio feedback. That's all I care about.
Why are you naked?
It was
Is
driving me
on.
nuts.
I don't know because I'm certainly not naked.
I am. That's why
Hang
my
on.
camera's off me.
Why are we talking about nudity all of a sudden?
Because why are you naked's on?
Hey! Don't know your name, but hey!
Well, who's in chat so we can say good morning?
Well, I've just named them.
I didn't hear it.
Okay. We've got the Train Freak. We've got Container Man 68. We've got
Hey, Roy.
Why Are You Naked?
Oh.
And that's it.
Oh, we got Ryan! From New Ferris.
New Fenris just popped up.
Yeah, I found out his name the other day through RWC Toyman Ron's channel when they were on the live.
Oh, Schoolkill Valley. Hello.
John.
And Joe Raider.
Joe. How's everybody doing?
I think this is the most action the start of a Trackside Beans has ever happened since we've done Trackside Beans.
Yeah. Yeah, actually. There is a lot of action going on.
Maybe we should do this more often on a Thursday. I think Thursday's that magic point in the week, and everyone's like, it's near the end of the week, can't be bothered, let's watch something in the morning.
But there's also, you got to watch out for other people's live streams.
I doubt anyone is doing a live stream Thursday mornings.
Yeah, fair point.
Just us.
Just us chickens.
Well, we're accommodating for the continental differences.
What the?
Train Freak watching while at work.
In my head.
Actually,
you are a pirate.
Whilst I am still conscious. Oh, shush you. Everyone will appreciate this. Look what I recreated. Oh, I need a better camera.
Nice. You showed me. Oh, I heard about that last night.
You know, this is a Berkshire. Hang on.
No, Berkshires are a 284.
Yeah, no, but this has been modified from a Berkshire to a 482.
So it's a mountain.
It's a mountain now, but it was a Berkshire. It was a Barkman Berkshire. Barkman Spectrum Berkshire.
Yeah. No, this is a lifelike Berkshire in Pierre Marquette's livery, 1225.
Ow.
ESU V4 Locksound Dakota. And I've got some I don't know if the Concord or Atlas passenger car is coming. They're currently in the Overland Grey livery that Union Pacific used. And as much as I don't want to ruin them, I'm going to be repainting them Chesapeake and Ohio, blue and yellow and silver, and decaling them as the excursion train.
Cool.
Unfortunately, it'd be very nice if I could get decals to say, oh, what was it? It's whoever does the excursions with 1225 at the moment. But so I'm just going to do the next best thing and just decal it as Chesapeake and Ohio and Pierre Marquette.
Why don't you just do the Polar Express?
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to do.
Well, because of copyright issues, they named it the North Pole Express. But to give you the short version, the author of the Polar Express, when he was younger, used to climb all over 1225 when it was on display at the university. And the number on the side of it reminded him of Christmas, because, you know, December 25th. Then when he wrote and illustrated the book, he used 1225 as the inspiration to draw the locomotive in his story. And then when they did the movie, they used 1225 blueprints to recreate the locomotive in the actual movie. But they changed the only sound that's not original to the loco is the whistle, which they used from a different locomotive. So full circle.
There was the little excited kid that tells you on the train, "This is a Berkshire 284 locomotive."
Actually, if you actually, well, I don't think it actually says Berkshire, but I do remember it says Lima. Actually, in saying that, yes, Y and A. The Pierre Marquette is similar to the nickel plate Berkshires.
Oh, Shane's Trains and Crazy
But
Joe.
the only difference is where the sand dome is. So I know there's two versions of the Pierre Marquette. One had the sand dome in the center, and the other one had it forward. But 1225 is the one that's designed with it in the center. So my model is as close to prototypically correct. It's unfortunate the lifelike Berkshires, you know, they were very well designed, but they were too light, so they didn't have a lot of traction. So I do this modification to those models if I have the parts. And I don't know why Lifelike never did this, because they machined it ready for it, but they just gone, nah, we're just gonna save on parts and do it this way. And that's basically on these Lifelike Berkshires. The rear two drivers are geared, and what I do is if I have a Lifelike Berkshire for parts, or have axles for parts that have the gearing on it, I actually gear up the second driver. So then I have 3 sets of drivers geared, and then once I do that, I bullfrog snot the second driver to give it more traction. To give you an idea, from factory, you're lucky to pull maybe 6 freight cars, 6 box cars, because it's so light. But once you do the bullfrog snot and this modification, you can get it to pull roughly about 15 or 16 box cars. So I've been doing some testing on my layout with 2 troop cars and 5 passenger cars, because that's what the excursion normally runs. It runs 2 repurposed troop cars. One's been repurposed as a tool car, the other one's been repurposed as a generator car. And then it runs 5 passenger cars, which were the old streamline from various railroads, but a lot of them follow the Chesapeake and Ohio blue, yellow, silver streamline scheme, which was adopted from Pierre Marquette's or the Pierre Marquette trains that used to run on the line.
Hello,
Hey,
Cloverdale Rail and
Marcel, how are you?
Hey, Marcel.
the Train Freak. I think you've just jumped on as well.
Holy
Yeah,
crap,
I'll be
we've
right
got
back.
13 people on here.
I'm gonna get my tablet. I'll be right
We've got 13 people on here, and all I've been doing is blabbering on about the life like Berkshire.
I know, right?
And I'm doing this with a headache. How am I
13
functioning?
watching.
Oh, the other thing I did to this Berkshire to get optimum sound is on the tenders. What they used to do, just so they could fill the capacity up, they put running boards on the front of the tenders so they could pack it. But then you only have like this small space under the rungs so the fireman can shovel the coal. Anyway, and on the model, you can see the gaps in the slats. So what I do is I've got a razor blade and I cut through them to open them up, so I can let the sound come straight out of there, and ooh, it's nice. It's got a nice note to it now.
Hi, Humanity Junction.
Hey! Joe Raider.
I've already said that.
Oh, did you?
Yep. He's been here for a little while.
Where's Steve gone?
He said to be back.
I think he's been in my package. That's half the reason we wanted to go on Whereby, because I need to go through the packages sending over to me and remind myself what I'm actually sending myself.
Remind him to talk about key rings too.
Oh, I'm not sure if you've been looking at the tracking, but the travelling boxcars landed in the States 2 days ago.
Yeah, I saw it. It said it was at San Francisco and it's waiting clearance or something like that.
Yeah, it's going through customs.
Oh, that's why he went to get his tablet.
Yeah. Hey, Steve.
Stephen.
I'm back. I had to leave for a minute.
Yeah, that's right. When do you want to go through my package?
I can go anytime you want.
All right. Because we've got like 12 people on here, so I reckon these guys would be interested to see what I'm sending myself.
Okay, well let me get this all set up. I'll move my tablet. You want to see all that stuff? Okay, let's see.
Hey, as I said,
And key rings.
like how long have I been collecting stuff at your place? Like 6 months now?
Long enough that my wife doesn't ask me anymore, what is all this stuff coming? I don't have to explain it anymore.
She don't. So technically, you could spend like $500 on model trains, and she won't question it because you're like, oh, it must be Shannon's
Oh no,
stuff.
yeah, she said, yeah, it's Shannon's, right? So yeah, exactly.
That's
not
both
mine.
travelling box cars, by the way, guys. They're in one box.
Yeah, it's both travelling boxcars. Both of them travelled together.
Yep.
They are in San Francisco waiting to leave customs.
I hope they like my box full of packaging peanuts.
I got to get back. As soon as I unplug this thing.
The one thing that annoyed me though is when you did post it, it sat at the airport for I think like almost a week.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
Oh, it's because of the showstopper.
Yeah.
Like all
That
the
wasn't anything
restrictions.
to do with me. Because initially they had problems printing out the tag, the sticker thing. So I emailed it to them and they were going to print it out and stick it on. And they said, don't worry, we'll handle it. All right, so I walked away. So I've been keeping an eye on the tracking, and yeah, it was just saying, oh, it's been sitting at Perth Airport for God knows how long.
I think they were trying to work out the logistics from Perth to Sydney and then Sydney to the States.
Yeah, it's got to go through Redfern.
Yeah.
And it takes forever to get across to Sydney. And the thing is, as well, I've noticed anything going across the Nullarbor doesn't always get scanned, especially if it's express. So sometimes it'll say it's been sitting in Perth, but really it's somewhere in the middle of the Nullarbor.
Yeah. Actually, that's the other thing. Did you hear Qantas sent off the last 747 the other day? No. I can't believe I can't believe the 747 is a 50-year-old model.
It is. You know, the 747 saved Boeing. Boeing were going under, and the 747 was their last-ditch effort. We need to build a plane that's going to sell well and save us from going bust, and then they built the 747.
Do they run the Jaguar built motors, or who builds the motors in those?
No, they were well, the GE now. They're Rolls-Royce.
Rolls-Royce, that's right. Yeah, I knew it was something like that, like Rolls-Royce or Jaguar or someone.
Yeah, no, they're Rolls-Royce.
Mm.
Yeah, and they're originally quite small, like in the original 747s.
Yeah, because then GE rebuilt them to be more fuel efficient and meet standards, blah, 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 blah. But they were, like, what, 25% larger or something?
I don't know. I don't know the specs on it, to be honest.
Oh, come on. You're the wingnut here.
I'm not the wingnut. You call someone a wingnut if they've got big ears. I haven't got big ears.
Hang on. No, because when I was doing Army cadets, Air Force cadets were known as the wingnuts.
Oh, we got called airy fairies when we were Air Force cadets.
Nah, airy fairies were... You know the whole thing when people say, if you gathered all the village idiots to put in one village, that you're the village idiot, that whole insult?
Oh, you're talking about, you know, the village is missing its idiot.
Yeah, well, you had the wingnuts, which sat here, and then the airy fairies were the village idiot of the wingnuts. Because, you know, you get the wingnuts like, oh, I don't know what's going on, and then you get the airy fairy, huh? Oh.
Off with the clouds sort of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, that was a joke we had.
You know, once you've tasted flight, you forever walk the earth looking up. Or something like that.
I can't say I've heard that.
Forever walk the earth with your head turned upward.
Actually, opinion to the people in chat right now, because it's bugging me. Does my neck make me look fat at this angle?
Yes.
It's okay to answer him because he's a boy. Do not answer that if you're women. If your ladies or lady friends ask you.
Yeah, married men will understand to not ask those questions to any woman.
See, Joe's the smart one. He's not going to answer it.
What the?
Hey, Ally, there you go. You've got a new friend to make.
What?
Steve 87th works at Boeing.
I know a lot of people who work at Boeing.
Well, now there's one more person that's involved in trains too.
Yes, actually, funnily enough. I know an ex-Air Force guy who used to work on Hornets, and he now works for Boeing. And I think he moved to Seattle. I haven't seen or heard from him since, though.
Heath, you are a smartass.
Yeah, of course he's a smartass.
Yeah. He's got, it's not your neck that makes you look fat. There are other factors that make you look fat. He's like, I'm not calling you fat because of your neck, but you're fat.
Just because.
That's a weird thing. A lot of people, a lot of my family members, we all got round faces, so we actually do look fat. Even though My wife
you-
keeps going to me. She's like, "How can you eat so much
Said that
shit?"
You were fluffy,
Yeah,
not fat, fluffy.
it's a. Shane, can you please explain to me what a gizzard is? Or is that? Are you talking about my beanie? Or are you talking about this? I don't know what a gizzard is.
I've heard gizzard used in other terms, but I want to know what he means by gizzard.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. My wife goes on like, "How can you eat so much crap and not look fat?" And I'm like, "I don't know, because I'm sexy like that." And she's like, "Shut up." Oh, this is a gizzard. Why do you call? How is this called a gizzard? I don't understand. I don't understand the meaning of this being called a gizzard.
It's a beanie.
Yes, it's a beanie. Chicken innard.
Yeah, that's what I would call a gizzard. I just heard
So you saying I've got a turkey thingamabob, do ya? They're all educating me what a gizzard is. The dangly bit on the turkey's neck under the beak.
It is not. That's
not.
Well, so far 3 different people have said it's the thing underneath the turkey's neck.
It's not.
No, that's there's a technical term for that one too.
A golly wobble.
Look what you guys done. We're arguing. We're arguing about shit. Is this what you want?
We're talking about turkey parts. Wow.
I think everyone wants us to fight amongst ourselves.
Is that what people want? You know, drama. Ooh, drama.
They want drama. They can have a crack in my gut. Still doing backflips. So painful.
You're not really in fighting shape though, Shannon, are you?
Well, I said to my wife, I probably prefer to be stabbed than have what's going on right now, because at least if you're stabbed, the pain's in one spot and you can get used to it. But when your gut's doing backflips, the pain moves around your gut. So, you know, 1 minute you're like, oh, my left side's sore. And then it's like, oh, now it feels better. And then all of a sudden it moves to the right side. And like, oh, now I've got to start all this shit again. Oh.
Shannon, you did it to yourself.
War.
You did it to yourself.
Yeah, Steve's got no sympathy for you.
Yeah.
Hey, Wilmer. Good morning.
Hey, Wilmer's on here? Hi.
Wilmer!
Not bad.
All right, Steve, if you want to start opening that package of mine, I'm going to go make myself a coffee. So it gives you some time to kind of...
Which one?
Which one?
The one we were going
Don't worry about the white metal kits. I don't want you going through the white metal kits, because...
Good. That would take us 2 days.
I know it'll take us 2 days. How do you think I feel? Once it arrives here, I've got to sort through it and go, okay, that piece goes with that kit. That piece goes with that kit.
My letter carrier threw her back out trying to deliver it yesterday. It
Bullshit.
needed a forklift.
Have you noticed when I'm hungry and in pain, I swear a lot more?
No, I hadn't noticed that because you swear all the time.
I only just realised that. I'm like, oh, I actually swear a fair bit when I'm actually in pain. Like, my fucks to give is just gone.
You said the F word now. We're live. We're not supposed to be swearing.
You can't talk that way.
Hey, this show is not made for kids. Hence why I click that button, not made for kids. Because 1,
Not made for kids.
if it was made for kids, no one can comment it. 2, if it was made for kids, no one can live chat on it.
Whatever.
Heath, to give you a backstory, whenever I buy stuff from the States... Actually, I'm going to give a backstory to everyone. Whenever I buy things from the States, I've never really had anyone to store my parcels to consolidate them. So every time I used to buy something, if I was buying it from one supplier, I used to get them to hold it until I've got 2 or 3 packages with them, and then they'd send it. But every time they send a package, I'm looking at around $30 US. It's alright if I'm spending, you know, a couple of $100 on stuff. But when I pay like $50 for, say, a passenger car, and then spend $30 postage, it kind of negates the purpose as to why I buy stuff in the States, because I can get some stuff in the States quite cheap compared to here in Australia. So anyway, you know, talking to Steve one day, I'm like, hey Steve, can I just send some parcels over to you and consolidate them at your house? He's like, yeah, no worries. That was...
Oh, I suckered you in.
Yeah.
That
was like, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah, but see, I never said I was going to send it to you. You believed me, and now I got all your...
Steve, if I have to buy a plane ticket to chase you down, remember, I know where you live.
Oh, I'm sure you could probably find somebody that you wouldn't even have to come over here.
Oh. Actually, Container Man, that set of white metal kits that I bought and Steve's got at the moment, there's actually a couple of Peterbilts, a couple of flatbeds, I think there's a boxcar in there. So...
Morning, Marty.
So, Roy, I will have, even though it's not prototypical to the era of my layout, your truck will be on my layout somewhere.
This is his white metal kit box. This thing weighs a ton. Like I have room for it in here.
From memory, Steve, I think there's like... What was it? I think there might be 25, 30 kits in there.
There's more than that. I don't know. There's a lot.
Actually, no, Heath, when I asked him to get a price on it about a month ago, because I'm actually planning to get it sent over soon, for all the stuff I got in there, it's going to cost $75 US, which is 108 for me, or maybe 110 now. But, you know, that's divide that by how many items I've bought. It still works out a lot cheaper than getting 1, 2, or 3 items at a time.
Hey, good morning, Marty. Marty M's here. Boom.
Shane, are you making fun of my accent? I said Peterbilt. Not Patterbilt, Peter. Peter Patter, Patter Peter.
You talk funny.
Actually, Roy, that's the other thing. You're going to have to send me some photos of your truck so I can actually paint those kits prototypical to your truck. I'm not going to half-ass this shit. Anyway, coffee.
Anyway.
Steve, you can start spreading my package around so I can...
Well,
show it, so everyone can see what I'm sending myself, and I can remind myself what I'm sending myself.
Well, I don't know
I'm
if
glad
I can
we're not taking
spread
this
it
down
around. I've got no room to spread it around.
Oh, Steve. Also, on eBay in Australia, there's a guy selling an SW1200 and calf for starting bid $20. Both of them need motors.
Need motors.
Yeah, but the Santa Fe, and it's a unit and calf.
Wow. I don't have any motors though.
I'm sure a man of your integrity would be able to work something out.
Oh, I'm sure. Like I need another project.
Oh, come on. I gave you a little project to work on. I gave you 2 speeders.
Holy crap. I know, yeah. I'm not sure what I did with them. I think they're still in the box. What did I do with them? I probably lost them.
What happens when you get a new... Roy, it's called a paint booth. It's not that hard to get my little sandblaster, sandblast the crap out of it, or dip it in
Oh, that's right.
paint stripper and repaint it.
These are my speeders. There. See, I don't have time. I can do it right now.
Take care, John.
Bye, John.
Bye, John. How am I supposed to put these together? There's no directions. I can't put a model together without directions.
A man who reads the instructions.
Who needs stinking instructions? I don't need no stinking instructions.
Steve, it's not that hard. 4 sides, a roof. And the wheels go face down, not in.
Oh, that's why this stuff doesn't run. No wonder. God, I knew I was doing something wrong.
We'll go on the track.
We'll go. There's no freaking room in here.
Wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round.
I had this all packaged, ready to go to Australia, and then he decided to buy more stuff.
Sounds like Shannon.
Yes. It's a good thing. I almost mailed it. It's a good thing I didn't. Let's see. I did such a good job packing this. Now I have to unpack it.
Just that's like my bedroom at the moment with all my clothes and things.
All my bubble wrap I did and I got peanuts in here. Peanuts, yeah.
Yay! Phone peanut.
Peanuts.
Jesus. Steve, unpackaging my package.
Yeah, I had it all packaged so nicely, ready to go.
We're going to have to repackage it anyway. To get that other stuff in there.
Good thing I'm not charging you by the hour. Should have done this inside. There's no room in here.
Hey, John 2618, how are you, John?
Hello, John.
Jesus, Steve, half that stuff is still in the original boxes. Why don't you unpack it out of the box and make a smaller package?
It's none of my business to open your shit.
Oh, Steve's opened the floodgates. Steve doesn't give a damn about profanity.
I'm referring it to as your package because that can be taken out of context so badly.
I have class. I don't open.
Trust me, if Ron from RWC Toyman was here, he'd take that.
Okay.
Actually, I'm surprised Heath didn't take it. I see Heath on those live streams, and he takes those as well.
Yeah, he hasn't said very much.
Same with Humanity Junction. He's the same.
Humanity Junction is Heath.
No, hang on. Who's the other one? There's Humanity Junction. There's another one on here that is in those streams.
Okay, I don't know what this is. Let's see. This is like Christmas, and I can't keep any of it. This sucks.
Well, it depends how nice you are for me, Steve.
You are so awesome. You are the nicest guy.
Steve, I didn't say kiss my ass.
Okay. Let's see what's in here.
I love how everyone opens their packages with their pen knives.
It's not. It's an X-Acto knife.
Yeah, pen knife.
No, that's not a pen knife. I better be careful. I might break it. Because I don't know what's in here.
As I said, Steve, I've forgotten half the stuff that has been sent to me. As I said, the only thing I remember is my... There goes the box. Like, all I remember is my FEF-3.
That's right.
He's like, my FEF, my FEF.
No, you do not understand. As soon as that thing arrives on my door, I am weathering the crap out of that. It is going to look so used and so decorated.
Let's see. We have I don't know what this is. This is... Oh, you got a little crane. Little DD box.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
He's going to be like, oh, I remember this. I remember that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let me package it back up so it doesn't fall off on my watch. Because I can't afford to replace this stuff. Okay. I'm poor. You know this is going to be a long beans if we're going to be opening all this stuff. There, there.
It goes on the layout and it's never coming off.
I won't be able to find it. It went with my re-railer.
I was gonna make a joke about that, but you beat me to it.
Mm.
I lost it again.
Yeah,
I lost
well,
it again.
yeah, he
It's been
did.
gone for about a week. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, well, in saying that, I was talking to Steve. There's another guy I found in the States on eBay, and he's selling a lot of rolling stock in N scale. But he's selling them. Some of them he sells in those storage boxes for N scale locomotives and N scale rolling stock. So I'd like to say, hey Steve, I'll buy the rolling stock. You can keep the boxes and restore all your rolling stock.
Oh, thank you. I've got lots of boxes now. Oh, there's a lot of crap in here. Boy. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe page for re-railers.
Steve, I'm already thinking starting a. Holy crap! What the? Oh, they're my containers.
Can we guess what all this is?
They're my truck containers.
Good Shannon.
Oh, these are truck trailers.
Yeah, it's for my spine cars.
It's upside down, Shannon.
The box is the rolling stock, isn't?
I
Hey,
can't
this
see the
is
rolling
Saturday.
stock.
Right, they're spine cars. Yeah, they're for my spine cars. Do you know how expensive those? I got them at a great deal. Do you know how expensive those things are in Australia? They're like $30 each.
What'd you pay?
I think I paid 50 or 60
You
for
want
a
to know?
lot.
And how many's in
You
there?
want to know something ironic? These are micro trains. Okay.
Microtrains are good.
Micro trains is about 45 minutes from my house over in Talent. So this trailer was made 45 minutes from my house and was shipped to God knows where, that box.
I think it was like 2 states over.
Goes to 2 states over to get shipped back to near where it was made to go back to Australia. That's just weird. Okay.
It was one of those impulse buys. Like I saw it pop up, I'm like, buy.
Bye now.
Okay, this one is. It says extra parts.
Oh, they're for my well cars. Yeah, they're the walking grates for my well cars. They're 3D
So they would-
printed.
they would
at
be
form.
fragile.
Yeah. They're the 3D printed with a resin printer, and they're actually more detailed than what the waffle ones are, because the waffle ones, they're not, like, they make the grading, but it's all filled in, whereas those, you can actually see straight through it.
3D printing, so good.
Ooh, peanuts.
I'm getting excited.
Ooh.
Because literally, I'm going through all these and I'm like, oh, I remember buying that.
Shannon's just like a little girl. It's Christmas.
Yes. More popcorn, some peanuts. Oh, this is the thing I broke.
Oh, the 3D printed passenger cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I know they're fragile.
What the? It was like, what the hell are these things? You know, I'm not going to unwrap these because they're going to.
Yeah, we know what they are.
They're fragile. Okay, I got peanuts and popcorn and Cracker Jack. It's going to take me 2 days to clean up on here. Okay.
You're not as careful as me as opening things.
No, I'm not.
It's funny. I work in a workshop as a mechanic, but every time we open boxes full of parts, we open it carefully because if it's wrong, we have to repackage it in the original packaging. What the hell's in there?
Another box.
Atlas.
It says Atlas. Atlas something.
It's not ringing any bells.
Atlas N-scale freight cars. So let's
Still not
open this
ringing any
up.
bells.
I don't hear anything breaking. Oh no, wait a minute. It's not. It's building kits. Let's see. You got that.
Ooh.
They look like laser etchings.
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh God, he's gonna faint.
No, 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 no. Oh, and I renovated the whole thing. Oh shit.
Were these for a project that you already did?
Yeah.
Let's see. You got little tiny creatures.
Oh, welders. I still need them.
Okay. Got little creatures.
They're called people, Steve.
Let's see. Oh,
The
okay.
people on the planet of Earth, we call them people.
These are laser cut fencing. Let's see. I don't know. You can.
Oh, those are nice.
You're getting a reflection.
Yeah. Oh. Mm.
What's this?
I'm kicking myself.
And there's a note that says, Shannon. I don't know what all this is. You get a 3x5 card that's got Shannon and some numbers.
Oh,
That's got
no, that's from Juan Navarrete.
got to be worth something.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he's one of the guys I buy stuff from, and I always go to him and go, "Hey, can I buy this?" A couple of weeks later, can I buy that? A couple of weeks after that, oh, can you put that with that package? And I'm pretty sure he has like a little pigeonhole with my name on it, and it's like Shannon, 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 Shannon.
And then, of course, you know what's in here. This was with the speeder, and that's all your little, I don't know what, all this stuff that's in here.
Yeah, the details for my station and stuff.
All right, so we already did that one. Let's see. I think that's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Christmas is over, except for your white metal kits. Yep. That's it. I don't think there's anything else. Wait a minute. I think there might be one other one. Hang on.
Ooh.
Oh, I think there's something up here. Hang on. Let me move you guys. I've got stuff scattered everywhere.
You never
I
know,
have to hide
Steve.
from my wife. Oh, that's
You might
right.
find your re-railer.
I haven't found. I don't know what the hell happened.
He probably packed it in
might
in the box.
actually thrown it away.
It ends up at Shannon's place in Australia.
Yeah.
No, I may have actually thrown it away. Oh, wait a minute. No, this isn't yours. This is the No, that's it, except for your white metal kit. Unless you want to go through that. You got awful quiet.
Nah,
He's thinking.
I just had a brain fart, and then the first thing in my head is, shit, I haven't finished doing my coffee. I put the kettle on. I remember the kettle shutting off, but I was getting excited about what I'm getting sent to me.
My Indian Pacific cars will be coming soon.
The what cars?
The Austrasian Indian Pacific carriages.
Ooh.
I ordered a set. There's 13 cars coming, a 10-car set and a 3-car add-on set.
Nice.
Why do you guys call them carriages?
We picked up the terminology from the Brits.
Yeah, most of our railways were British.
And then each state government couldn't decide on a standard rail gauge, so they go on, screw you, we're going to do our own thing. We'll go broad gauge, we'll go standard gauge, we'll go narrow gauge.
That's a funny story between the Victorian government and the New South Wales government, or the colonies at the time. Because they originally both decided on broad gauge, and then New South Wales changed to standard gauge, and that was after Victoria had already bought broad gauge locomotives and stuff, and they're like, well, we can't change now.
Mm.
So they stuck with broad gauge.
Yeah, but in saying that as well, the whole argument about where that the capital of Australia is meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when Australia started to become a country, Melbourne was the capital. New South Wales cracked the shits.
Yep.
And then they gone, okay.
Halfway between the two.
Yeah. Where's the ACT sit? Because last I checked, 1,700 kilometres versus 500 is not halfway.
It's meant to be halfway. If you draw a line directly between the two cities, not by road because the road goes around, but if you draw a direct line by air, as the crow flies, it should be equal.
I'm checking this.
Because Canberra should be smack bang in the middle between the two. That's why it's in a hole in the ground. And it's so freaking cold there. It's surrounded 360 degrees by ice-capped mountains.
No, it's definitely closer to Sydney than it is to Melbourne.
Are you going by road or are you going by...
No, by the way crow flies. Like, I can fit 4 fingers between Melbourne and Canberra, and I can fit 2 fingers between Canberra and Sydney.
Well, that's not right. That shouldn't be right. You sure you got a scale map there?
Google Maps.
Okay.
Do you want to argue with Google? But I can see why, because if you put Canberra dead smack in the centre, it'll be sitting inside the Blue Mountain somewhere.
Yeah, it's probably why it was chosen to be there. Because it is quite literally a hole in the ground.
Well, that's the thing. You're looking at it, and you can see all the national parks where the Blue Mountains are, and Canberra is like right on the edge.
Yeah, it's 360 degrees of ice-capped mountains, basically.
Yeah. So one part of that's the Blue Mountains. That's why. Oh, like if anything, halfway would be between Albury and Wagga Wagga.
No, it's not even that. Wagga Wagga's like going that way. Trust me, I used to live there.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you wanted to put it halfway and not have the Blue Mountains interfere between Wagga Wagga and Albury,
no, you're going the wrong way. It's Wagga Wagga. You've got to go up to Yass to get to Canberra.
Where's that share button? Share. Share. Albury. Wagga Wagga.
That's not halfway between Albury and Wagga Wagga.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because I'm saying instead of putting Canberra there, if they planned to go around here, halfway would be around here somewhere.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So instead of, making the straight line between Melbourne and Sydney, you kind of go cockeyed this way and then cockeyed to Sydney. And they would have avoided the Blue Mountain Range. But then again, if you put Canberra there, the politicians would be like, oh shit, another bushfire.
Well, that area between Wagga Wagga and Albury is all farmland out there. It's actually quite flat.
Yeah. Well, last time I was driving through Wagga Wagga and Albury, I wasn't going through Wagga Wagga, I was going through here, near it.
Yeah, where the Hume Highway goes.
Yeah, there was heaps of bushfires around there on the farmland because of all the grass.
Wagga Wagga floods a lot. I remember there was times where I was trapped on the RAF base because we couldn't get out of Wagga Wagga.
Oh, yeah.
What is this Wagga Wagga stuff? Where did you guys come up with these names?
It's an
A lot of
Aboriginal
these names are named after what the Aboriginals actually named the area beforehand.
And Wagga means crow. Wagga Wagga means many crows.
Okay.
So in other words, Wagga Wagga is a murder of crows.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like, okay, here's an interesting story, Steve. Do you know why kangaroos are called kangaroos?
Kangaroos.
I do not know why.
Because when early settlers first came to Australia, you know, they were idiots and like, oh yeah, everyone in the world speaks English. So they go to a native Aboriginal and they see a kangaroo and they look at the kangaroo and go, what's that? And the Aboriginal responds, kangaroo. Kangaroo in Aborigine is, what are you saying? I don't know, or I don't understand, essentially.
Really?
It depends on which tribe you're talking about, because I'm sure it means something completely different in one of the Western Australian tribes.
Yeah. But essentially, the kangaroo, if you translate to English, is what? I don't know. Huh? Because literally in their mind, it's like, oh, he's a native, but he must speak English.
They named it's actually quite interesting because they named a town or a suburb here in Perth, Kalamunda. And the reason why they called it Kalamunda is they pointed towards the hills where it is. And the guy who owned it, or the Aboriginal who owned it, that's Culler's place, he lit a fire so they could, you know, see where he was, you know, just as a sort of marker.
Yeah.
And it just means something like Kalamunda means Culler's place or something like that. I think that's how it translated.
Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the weird thing about the language of the Aborigines. Like, their language is as diverse as languages are around the world.
Yeah, well, because that's one of the interesting things we found. You know, you speak to Aboriginal people, and they're, you know, one of them that my dad spoke to, he goes, that's the problem with all you white folk. You think we're black. We're not black. We're tribal. You know, the languages differ completely between different tribes. You know, the local tribe around Perth, which is the Noongar people, are completely different to the Yamaji people, which are the Minganyu Geraldton area.
So that's where Noongar comes from.
Yeah, Noongar is the local Perth southwestern tribe.
Do you know how often I insult people saying "stop being such a Noongar" or "shut up, you Noongar"?
That's why would you do that?
I never knew.
Noongar is the tribe name for someone from Perth, from the southwestern part of Western Australia.
I thought it was just a word I made up, but now
It's an Aboriginal tribe name.
oh, like it was like years ago. One of my mates that I used to work with, we used to call them dingleberries, and for 6 months,
What a dingleberry is.
6 months we were calling him dingleberries till someone educated us.
When I was a kid, I used to like the word bollocks because I thought it was hilarious. It's a hilarious word. And then someone who was from an English background informed me what bollocks actually meant. I stopped using it pretty quick.
Yeah. Oh damn! Now I've got to think of different insults. Oh, what have you done? You've just blown my mind and my vocabulary.
Diversity in Aboriginal culture, because that was part of my job as a youth worker.
True. Actually, I've got a couple of mates who are descendants of the stolen generation.
Yeah, that's really rough what happened to them, because what the scary thing is for them is they could meet another Aboriginal person and not know if they're sisters or brothers.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what tribe they came from. That was all erased. And they have a very, it's not complicated, but it's a very clever system of how they work out how not to end up with a brother or a sister or a cousin. And it works out really, really well, depending on who they have relationships with. But because they don't know their backgrounds, they don't have this system that they normally use doesn't work. And so, yeah, it's very hard for them to form any kind of meaningful relationships with anybody because they don't know if they're going to be sleeping with a cousin or a brother or a sister or something.
Yeah, it's like there's a story in Britain. This couple got married and whatnot, and it wasn't until I think it was like 12 months later or something like that, when they were talking, because they both knew they were adopted or something, you know. And yeah, it was like 12 months after they got married. Some conversation popped up, and they realized they were brother and sister, and they're like, bleh.
Yeah. Oops.
Big oops.
Yep.
Big oops.
The marriage got annulled, and you know the families were happy. It's like, yay, we found our lost long siblings, but oh god,
We slept together. Ah!
like just thinking about it, I can't think of the trauma either one of those people would have gone through. Considering it's like, you know, because one of the things is like, I slept with my sister. My morality, my morals, my way of life is ruined.
Existential crisis.
I'm making my coffee.
Go. Be free. I want another bottle of water.
I need some coffee too.
Don't you leave me here by myself.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. Well, maybe I would. I probably would, actually.
You cruel, mean person. Steve, no.
Well, that's unanimous. Everybody thinks that. I used to be not. I used to be a nice person.
What happened?
I don't know. Something called trackside started. And
You met Shannon.
Weirdo. I met Shannon and I turned weird.
People in chat are just having their own conversation. They're completely ignoring us.
Well, that's probably a good thing.
Yep. They're even talking to Nightbot.
That Nightbot's creepy.
It is a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's a lot creepy. Okay, what was I doing?
I check it every now and again, Roy. I do. I honestly do. I haven't forgotten you guys. But really, there's nothing I can add to that conversation.
Because we ignore them. Oh, so where are you at, Roy? What part of the world are you in?
Yeah, I don't know what is worse. Putting up with these two or putting up with you guys?
Flip a coin. It can't. It's got to be about the same. Hey, John, your neon sign, man, that turned out really good. I watched that update. That looked really good.
Hey, we got 8 watching now, but 12 likes. Woot!
Yeah, there was like 13 people on before. I was getting excited.
I think we ran them off.
Yeah, talking about Aboriginal culture and stuff like that.
Yeah, sleeping with your sister. Nah, that's yeah.
Oh no, I've pressed a button. Now it's gone weird. Come back.
Actually, that reminds me, I used to have a really good friend when I was younger.
What, you got no more friends now?
No. You smart ass. Nah, he was in foster care with one of Mum's friends, and it was an Aborigine.
Aboriginal, they don't like Aborigine.
Okay, Aboriginal. Anyway, and yeah, we just got really close, and then yeah, after a while, because his mum was into drugs and whatnot, so you know, sad story there. But after a little while, they ended up finding more family in one of the native tribes. So they sent him off there. Never saw him since.
It is kind of sad, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, we used to see him like once a week, and we used to just, fuck around, play video games.
Hey, watch your mouth. Roy's in Kansas. Wow. I was in Kansas once. Miserable place.
We'll do the thing like Captain America. Language! And for gosh sakes, watch your mouth. Now Shannon's gone quiet.
I can't talk and drink. I can talk and chew.
Don't talk with your mouth full.
It's the advantage of having gopher cheeks.
It sounded like my mum.
No, look. I've got gopher cheeks.
And you were worried about being called fat.
He does look kind of fat from that angle.
Steve's got no filter at all.
You kind of look like a serial killer.
He does with that beanie.
I look like what?
Yeah. A serial killer.
Or someone who's going to break into my house.
Yeah. Exactly. You're gonna give me nightmares.
I'm going to get up and get a drink. Be right back.
Okay.
Oh, my neck's hurt.
Oh.
Yeah, Ali, I was going to say, if you actually look at my two boys when they eat, they've got gopher cheeks as well.
They probably watch you.
No, it's, as I said, like a lot of the guys in my family, we have round faces. And the reason we have round faces is because of our gopher cheeks. So we always look really plump in the face, even though we're not fat. And it's because we just got large cheeks and... Yeah, I don't know, but we eat a lot. Heath, it might be noon in where you are, but it's morning here.
Not where you are, Shannon.
Okay, can someone educate me who Charles Bronson is?
You don't look like him.
I think he's is Charles Bronson like a basketballer or something in America?
No, he's an American actor. What or was, I don't know. Usually played pretty rough characters, I think.
Hey, look, you can see my wedding photo right there.
It's a bit hard to see, but you can.
I'm gonna go grab it and show everyone. I was fat then. Oh my god.
No, that's a beautiful photo.
Mm.
Where are you?
That's Mount Martha Yacht Club.
Okay.
Yeah, so the girl in that picture with my wife, that's my mate's daughter.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
Cloverdale?
But hey, now that me and the wife are having another baby, it better be a girl, or as I said to her, I'm returning it to sender.
Why are you so keen on a girl?
Why? Cause I want my little princess.
Well, your little boy's a little princess. Prince, I should say.
I've got 2 boys.
Yeah, they're little princes.
Yeah, I want a princess. And mind you, it'll be amusing too because a lot of the women in my family, they're not the easiest women to live with. They're not pushovers.
They're strong women.
Well, everyone goes, everyone's like, why don't you be more protective of your sisters? I'm like,
They don't need it.
I'm like, if they need me to sort something out, it'll be after they've gone through whoever. You know, and so I've got this image in my head that if I ever have a daughter, there'll be this one day where she'll come up to my boys and be like, "Hey bros, I just beat the crap out of my ex-boyfriend. Can you finish him off a little bit and then have Dad bury him?"
You look like you're at the South Pole, all rubbed up.
It's like 8 degrees. And I have to get under the house bad and fix my ducting because I got the gas bill yesterday. I had a heart attack.
It hurt.
$650 for 52 days.
Ouch! Ouch! I don't spend that in a month.
I forgot you guys. It's wintertime with you guys right now.
Yeah.
But I don't have gas. I have electricity.
Yeah. Well, I've got a ducted heating system, but I know where the hole is, and I found it by accident. I was cleaning out Alex's room because my wife's got some clothes in there that she's got to put away because for later use because they're too big for Alex and too big for Andreas. And anyway, I'm moving, so I've got the heater on. It's a cold day, and I've got the heater on, and I've lifted this bag, moved it over because I'm trying to do something, and I'm standing under his bed. And after a couple of minutes, I'm like, my feet are warm. And I'm looking down and go, okay, I wonder. So I step to the left, floor's cold. Step to the right, it's warm. I'm like, so I get on all fours, and here I am just, spreading myself around the floor, and there's this patch of floor that's warm. And I'm like, that's where all my heating's going. It's going underneath the house under there. So tomorrow I've got to go to Bunnings. I've got to get a few rolls of duct tape. I've got to crawl under the house. I'm going to have to break one of the ducts to actually get through to the other ducts, which is going to be annoying. Once I've done that, hopefully that'll be the end of it.
Yeah, make you feel at home, Shannon. It was 105 here yesterday. So we're
105. So close, Steve. Give me 110 and I'm happy.
It's a dry heat, though.
I love dry heat.
It's a dry heat.
It's always humid over in the east. I like the dry heat over here in the west.
It's still 105.
Yeah. Steve, to give you an idea, it's currently about 47 degrees where I am.
What it is where I am.
Yeah, that's cold.
Hang on, how do I convert it to Fahrenheit?
9 times 9 and a... What?
Hang on.
Is that 9/5 or 9.5?
46 degrees where I am in Fahrenheit.
6 degrees Fahrenheit. 6 degrees Celsius is 42 Fahrenheit.
8 degrees Celsius, so 46 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah. At least you're lucky. At least your temperatures are stable, Ali.
Yeah, it went up to 25 yesterday. It was really comfortable. I like 25.
Give me a 32-degree day and I'm happy.
Yeah, 32 is a bit hot.
Yeah, well, I'm South American. I love the heat. And I'm also very jealous of my boys because they tan very easily. Like I remember I was working on my mate's car one day, doing a clutch in his car on the driveway, and Alex was about 3 at the time, and he's running around. He's running around the yard, and he's in a singlet. And I completely space out, lose track of time. Right, didn't realize how long he's in the sun for. And I get this gearbox out. I get up, I get out, I look at Alex, and he's beetroot red. And I'm like, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh no, I fucked up. And, you know, and I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out, going, oh no, he's going to be in so much pain. He's going to be flaking. He's going to be itchy, you name it. Hour and a half later, he's a nice brown. And I'm like, and I'm just I'm looking at him, I'm like, you asshole. Making me worry just so you can tan. So I just let him be, and he ran around the yard again. He was fine.
I go red as a tomato, peel and everything, get itchy, hate it, and oh look at me, I'm still white.
Actually, I still remember the first time I got burnt because I was the same. I tan really easily and really nicely if I'm in the sun. But there was this one day, it was like 42 degrees, you know, scorching hot. And we went down to the pier to go for a swim. And, you know, everyone's like, oh, you better put some sunscreen on. I'm like, I never needed sunscreen before, I'm not going to use it now. And I jump in the water and I completely forgot how when you're in the water, when the sun hits the water, it reflects back so you can essentially get double the amount of rays. Anyway, 2 days later, I'm in work and my back started to get itchy as hell, and I'm just starting to scratching and scratching. After about 2 days, my back is uncontrollably itchy, and I'm like, holy crap, what the hell's going on? Did my wife use did Crystal use different washing detergent or something? I don't know. So I go to one of my mates, I go, is there anything on my back? Because my back is itchy as hell. And he pulls my shirt down and he's like, you're peeling. I'm like, what? What do you mean I'm peeling? He's like, you got sunburn, you're peeling. And I'm like, really? He's like, well, why are you so shocked about it? I'm like, well, this is the first time I'm ever peeling. And he's like, oh. First time I experienced being sunburns and peeling was, I was like, what? 24, 25.
Worst one I ever got, or one like that, was a trip to Bali. And I got sunstroke. I was throwing up. I was awful. I was a mess. That was the worst. I was dehydrated. I felt really weak and faint, but I don't think I passed out. I don't remember passing out. I was quite little.
Well, heat exhaustion is bad. Heat stroke will kill you. I mean,
Like I was, yeah. That's the worst I've ever been. Was to the point I was throwing up. I was sick as a dog. That was in Bali. I don't think it was hot, but I think it was
you stopped perspiring
because I was sweating and running around. I was a kid, you know. So yeah, that scared me.
Just looking at chat, John was like, oh, you're talking Celsius.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, for those of you that we have confused, 42 degrees Celsius is about 107 to 110.
I didn't think Melbourne ever got that hot.
Oh no, we get hot. we get hot, and what makes it worse for us is on the peninsula, because I live on the peninsula. It's a mix of sand and clay, and like where Mum lives, her area is full of clay, and when you heat up clay, it just holds the heat. It just holds it. Like I remember one night when I was still living at Mum's, it was a hot summer day. Became nighttime, and at night it was still like 28 degrees. And I was sleeping with the fan on. I had a spray bottle next to me, and every half an hour I would wake up because I couldn't sleep, and I'd spray myself with water, and it was horrible. And for those out there that doesn't understand Celsius, 28 degrees is 82 Fahrenheit. Try sleeping in that.
Wow.
And I was sleeping
Hey,
naked.
we got Michael McCardle here. Good morning, Mike.
I think talking about that glare, I got that glare problem when I went up to the snow for the very first time. I didn't realise that on a beautiful day, no clouds, but this beautiful white snow up at Selwyn. Well, that's in the eastern states now. Eastern states, that way. Yeah, I got red with glare.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a hot day because it was a beautiful day.
Yeah,
And
that's the one thing a lot of people. Yeah, it's the one thing a lot of people forget, and I forgot. The glare from water, the glare from snow. Like getting bombarded by the sun's one thing, but when you have glare, you're getting bombarded twice as much.
Well, I had the sunglasses on, so I didn't even realise it. You don't think about it when you're wearing sunglasses.
Oh, but you'd have those
Like
those
gold-
polarized glasses as well.
Yeah.
Because the polarized glasses allows the light to only go through the glasses in one direction. So you don't see the glare at all, whereas standard sunglasses without the polarized, you can at least see a little bit of the glare.
Yeah, I got my worst sunburn snow skiing. That'll fry you.
Yeah, Steve would know.
John 2618, sun poisoning is no joke.
Yeah. No, heat stroke. Your body loses the ability to cool itself. You stop sweating.
Actually, one of the guys I'm still mates with, I can't remember the condition he's got. I can't remember what it's called, but basically, I wouldn't say it's a deformity, because he's not exactly deformed. He still kind of looks quite normal as a person. But with his genetics, he's actually born without any sweat glands.
Ooh.
And yeah, the other genetic tales for this, he's pretty much got no hair. Like, he was born with no hair. And his teeth were originally, like, the easiest way to describe what his teeth used to look like was he had shark teeth. They were just pointed, jagged, like, because of the condition he's got, because it's so rare, the government, the insurances covered $108,000 worth of dental work to reconstruct his jaw and redo his teeth. But yeah, like, the only way his body can actually cool itself down is by salivating, so producing heaps of saliva in his mouth to essentially try and cool him down. And yeah, if it's a hot day, if it's a hot day, he, 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, he has to come back inside, otherwise he dies. Because his body just overheats, and yeah, he can die of heat stroke within half an hour.
Wow.
So every time and this is when we work in the wrecking yard, so every time we went out, he carried like 2 water bottles with him, one to drink to try and cool himself internally, and the other one to try and, douse himself in water. Like, every time before he used to go outside, he's like, alright, time to go outside again, take his shirt off, in the sink, drench it, put it back on, walk out.
That sucks.
Yeah.
It really does suck.
He's okay now. Now he works on the phone, so now he's in a nice air-conditioned office.
But you'd miss out on things like going to the beach and stuff like that.
Oh no, he still does that. He just has to be very conscious of making sure he's got water near him. So he has to manually wet himself to cool down.
Shannon, Heath wants to know who you're talking about.
One of my mates. Actually, I'll look up what the condition's called.
I don't even have to mention about, because we got so many people watching and commenting and liking. I don't even have to mention the bell icon. Ding! Mentioned it.
Here you go. He is born with hypohydrotic ectodermal dysplasia.
Okay.
Let me share this so everyone at home can see what it is. So this is what kids born with condition look like. That's the kind of teeth they are born with.
That's rough.
Yep. That's pretty much their hair. That's an actor that actually plays a lot of villains in movies. He's got it. But you know, as they grow older, see, they're very lanky, they're very... Like, they grow normally, but they kind of look a bit unusual. Here's some more teeth.
Yeah, you can stop showing that now, Shannon.
Well, they have an excuse. What's your excuse, Shannon?
What do you want's my excuse? In saying that, though, I think these people were originally responsible for the tall tales of vampires because, you know, look at their teeth.
Oh, come on, enough, Shannon.
What? It's called edumacation.
Edumacation.
It's called You Can't Unring a Bell. Once you see it, you see it.
Oh, John, really? Oh, no. Sanding and painting over 100 passenger seats. What a tedious job that is.
Yeah, good question, Joe. I thought this was a train show. Shannon.
It is a train, yeah. Well, Shannon's off topic. We're going to have to put him in a timeout.
Hang on, there's trains here, look.
We have to get
There's
him back on
Steve
track.
Layer, there's trains.
We have to get you back on track.
Yes. Shannon's had a derailment.
He's been derailed for a long time.
Oh, actually, John, now, just thinking about it, I just had this thought. Have you seen the circuits they use for the T-scale cars? So the 1 to 480 cars. Have you seen the technology on that? Now I'm just waiting for John to reply. Oh, Heath, you want to look at the layout, do you? Hang on a second. Let me finish talking to John first. If you get a chance, look up T-scale cars. You know, and there's these little circuits you can buy. They're like a PCB board with a electromagnetic coil printed into it in some way. and you got the cars that sits on the track, and the cars have a magnet, and essentially when you turn the circuit on, the circuit powers up a certain section of the coil, and because of the attraction of magnets, it pulls the car along. So then you just put a paper road on top of it. If you can find a circuit to design to put in the center aisle of your passenger cars, you can have a ticket man going up and down the aisles in one of your carriages.
Hey, Shannon. I think it's unanimous. Nobody wants to look at the side of your head anymore. They want to see your layout. They've had enough of your turkey neck.
Oh, jeez. God, it's so beautiful.
Gobble, gobble. There you go.
Oh,
I'll do that.
yeah. Oh, shit. Now.
I haven't got a layout to show yet.
Oh, bad for you. There.
Look at that. Nice and beaten up.
Dun, 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 dun.
Actually, John, I'll see if I can find a video for you to watch quickly, because then you'll see what the circuit looks like.
We still like you anyway, Allie, even if you don't have the layout. We still like you.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
See,
You're
Steve
still
still
one of-
likes me.
You're still one of the gang.
You just like me because we've got to have female representation in the hobby.
That's right. Well, yeah, otherwise we would be prejudiced, and we can't do that.
I mean, sexist.
Yeah, prejudice, racist, sexist. Isn't it all the same thing now?
Discriminatory.
Oh, what happened? Wait a minute, I lost my train. How did I lose my train?
It's probably with your re-railer, Steve.
I can't believe I lost that again. I cannot believe that.
Did you ever end up like putting paint on it or anything so you could find it easy?
I still lose it. I would still-
See? You've only got yourself to blame now.
I think I threw it away.
Oh
I
no.
looked everywhere. I can't find it.
We definitely have to set you a GoFundMe page for a re-railer.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. I agree with that.
If I have to, I'll send you a re-railer.
I'd lose it.
Actually, that's probably the good point. I shouldn't send you one. You'd lose
Don't
that
send
too.
me one. I'll end up losing it anyway.
If John's talking, I don't know what he's saying right now. I'm currently Googling.
Oh, everyone in chat's been so kind.
Are they all trying to get your phone number?
No, they're just where is it? Hang on. I'll go back to the top one.
Well, they're feeling sorry for you because you don't have a layout. So you're, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Where was it? Where was it? This one. Crazy Joe says, "Ally, you have been getting more done on your trains, and you asked me to break out the trains." And Roy says, "Got locos, that's good." And John says, "Yeah, Ally, we all love you. No layout required." Oh, you guys are so sweet. Crazy
And
Joe
you guys
says,
are all going to have to.
"It's all racist. I hate all humans. You hate all humans equally."
You guys are all gonna have to get on old Claude. He did a locomotive inventory yesterday with me. He's got a lot of stuff he needs to run. Man, he's got some good stuff.
Humanity Junction makes a good point. It says, speaking of women in the hobby, who would be the male equivalents to Jennifer Kirk and Kathy Millett? Well, I know who would be the equivalent for Kathy. Would be Luke Talon here in Australia. He refers to her quite often, actually. I think they bounce ideas off each other quite a lot. Shannon's not even in the same state as me. He's like 3,000 kilometers that way. So no, I don't think he can help me make a switch layout. I'm buying a layout. I just haven't heard back from the person who owns it yet because I don't know, they're very, very busy, I guess.
Okay, John 2618, you want to look up linear motor drive.
Well, that's how they power roller coasters, linear motors.
No, not chain driven, linear motor drive. So basically, the track is an electromagnet, and an electronic controller controls the polarity on that track, which then moves any tiny scale, anything small enough that has magnets underneath, it just drags it along essentially. So you can have a 1 to 500 scale car drive on a road.
Is that like the Faller car system?
Bella car system.
Faller. F-A-L-L-E-R. Foxtrot Alpha Lima Lima Echo Romeo. They do a...
No, that's HO. That uses a wire underneath. So...
Okay.
So imagine this. Imagine a printed circuit board, and it has these copper wires embedded into the circuit board. One wire is circuit 1, and the other wire is circuit 2, the third wire is circuit 3. So, and each circuit turns on one after the other, linearly. When circuit 1 turns on, it's magnetic. So anything that's attracted to magnetism will go to the closest circuit part of circuit 1. Then circuit 2 will turn on, and then it will move. Then circuit 3 will turn on, and then it will move. And then it repeats the process. So you can have a car that's about the size of a matchstick drive.
That'd be cool.
And that's what I was saying to John, because with the amount of work John's doing with this Blue Comet stuff, it'd be really nice if he puts a linear motor drive down the center aisle of one of his passenger cars, and actually has the conductor walking up and down the aisle. So when you look in the train, you'll just see this one figure just going going up and down the aisle, looking for tickets and whatnot.
That would be cool.
Or if you really wanted to, he can set it up in all the passenger cars. One has a conductor, one has a couple of kids chasing each other up and down the room or up and down the corridor. Another one could just have someone go to the toilet. Like the downside is, you can only use one figure, because trying to fit such a small drive in a
getting figures past each other would be messy.
Or if you want to, you can put 2 on one passenger car, and someone can walk up to the center of the car, turn around, and then go back to the other end, and they just alternate.
Heath reckons he's too scared of drop bears to come to Australia.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with drop bears. They're cuddly.
They're cute.
I mean, sure, they might kill you, but they're cute.
You know the secret to keeping drop bears away? Vegemite behind the ears.
Actually, it's like all those pictures I see of people picking up blue ring octopus.
Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like anyone who doesn't know what a blue ring octopus is, they just go, "What's the problem? It's an octopus," and it's
Yeah,
like, no.
in the world.
Yep.
Oh. They look at them and go, oh, they're so pretty because they're blue and they're shiny and very, 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 very venomous.
Nah, they're not venomous. It's okay. Actually, is it venomous or poisonous? No, it's poisonous because venomous is. Oh no,
They're
wait. No, it is venomous because venomous is when they bite you. Poisonous is if you touch them. Yeah, they bite you.
Yeah.
Anyway, for those who don't know what a blue ring octopus is, it's a octopus is probably about the size of what? A quarter?
Tiny little-
Yeah, it's about the size of a quarter. For the Americans playing out there. Anyway, and the blue ring octopus has one of the deadliest neurotoxins in the world. And to give you an idea, if you get bitten by one, you have 5 minutes to seek medical help before you die of asphyxiation and heart failure. Because it will shut down your body that quickly.
They're worse in some cases than some snakes in Australia. And we have, 8 of the top 10 deadliest in the world?
It's like more like 16 out of the top 20.
Everything in your country will either bite you, sting you, stick you, or kill you. Man.
Actually, John, if you can, jump on Whereby for a few minutes so I can talk to you about this linear motor stuff, because trying to talk to you through chat is starting to bug me a little bit.
So if we haven't scared you enough about not coming to Australia...
Actually, there's
I've
the bird-eating
never
spider.
Ever.
Oh, the bird-eating spiders, the funnel web, the redback.
Actually, what would you be more scared of? The bird-eating spider or the funnel web?
I don't know, the funnel web's
I like your dinner plates.
more dangerous, isn't it?
The funnel web's quite aggressive, but the bird-eating spider's quite large.
Yeah, but I don't think it would go after a human.
You do know what the bird-eating spider diet consists of, apart from birds?
Sometimes it's other spiders, isn't it?
Spiders, rodents, rats, small cats. They'll eat cats if they can get one.
Yeah, we've scared Heath enough now. He said he's not coming to Australia, but he wants to know what Vegemite is.
We'll send you a jar with instructions on how to eat it properly.
Yeah, what's a Vegemite sandwich?
I come from the land down under.
Oh, don't sing that song.
It doesn't sound very good.
No, it's a good song, but when they released it, they got sued because it was copywriting some children's theme song from a TV show that no one knows what the show is.
He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
This conversation is one way to ensure you lose everyone.
No, spiders usually... Oh, hang on. I'm just reading that wrong.
Spiders usually are not aggressive to humans. Joe, wait till you've made a funnel web. They are very territorial. Oh, that's the other spider that we have here. The mouse spider.
Oh, yeah. They're most eastern states, though.
Yeah. Do you know why they're called the mouse spider?
They eat mice?
No. They reproduce like mice.
Whoa!
Because there was an incident a few years ago. A young child went playing in his backyard, ended up fainting in the yard, and the parents had to take him to hospital.
Hey.
turned out what happened was when he ran in the yard, in a 1 meter square area, there was about 50 spiders,
Ooh, ah.
and they all bit him because he ran over the nest. Hey, John.
Yeah. Hi,
Yeah,
John.
I'm here.
Change the subject.
Hey, John.
Hello,
Change the
hello.
subject. I don't want to talk about spiders and snakes anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now John's on here. I can talk to him about linear drive motors properly.
Good. We don't have to talk about spiders anymore.
Well, Shannon, let me show you what I'm dealing with on the cars here because I'm working on them right now. And you tell me if there's enough space
Oh,
under
sure.
them. Let me swap this around. Okay. So here's the interiors that I'm building, these little seats.
Yep.
Oh, dear.
And here's
Oh.
one that's done, kind of. So I got like the wood floor,
Yep.
and these seats come out, and there's the capacitor for the lighting, which is under here.
Yep.
And then underneath, I got about, I don't know, a few millimeters, probably like 3 or 4 millimeters, maybe. It's
Well-
hollow underneath.
Well, I know the linear drive motors, as I said, they're about as thick as a PCB board.
Oh, okay. So that might work then.
Yeah. But
So
the only
like-
thing
so
is
this-
the driver. The driver's going to be the hard part because the driver is a certain driver.
I
that
can move
controls
those
it.
magnets around, but the problem is if I push the floor up too high, the seats, they don't look right because they're, they should be kind of lower than the window.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's just what I've been doing. It's just so tedious. It's like ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
But
Well, you might have seen videos of this before, John. Have you ever seen teeny tiny trains?
no.
Okay, if you look up teeny tiny trains on YouTube, literally to give you an idea, it's a train layout. It's about the size of a mobile phone, but it actually has a train running around it in a loop.
Oh wow.
And and basically, as I said, all it is as I was saying to Ali, when you look at the printed circuit board, you can see the coils, but even though you can see the coils and they look like one coil, there's like 3 different sets of coils that alternate in turning on. So first you get coil 1, then coil 2,
Yeah.
then coil
It's
3,
almost
and then it
like
repeats.
like a magnetic, like those magnetic trains that it pulls it with the magnets.
Yeah, that's teeny tiny trains.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
All right. Yeah, I should check that out.
yeah,
Because I've been trying to figure out fun things to do. Because here's an example. Check out this observation car I'm building from scratch. Well, not from scratch, but from the kit. So I had to like cut out this whole back of the car and put in like a roof and everything.
yeah, looks good.
And then I got the grates there, or the little fence, and then it's gonna have a light under there. I have the marker lights that are going right here. They're right there
Oh, nice.
with the interior lighting, and then I've been testing out. Here's the locomotive right there.
Oh, nice.
Pretty.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool when it's all done. I'll have 4 cars, but I've got a few more kits to build, but I can't do it. It's just like I gotta take a break from it. It's like so much work.
I'm surprised those seats don't come as like one long mold or something, that they're individual.
What's that? The seats?
The seats, yeah.
Yeah. So good point. Check this out. So I found these seats, right? And so they come in a big mold, but me being OCD, they don't line up with the windows properly.
Ah.
So I'm like,
Wrong.
No, I'll probably do the same thing. I'll probably cut them out individually and do the same thing.
I'm not throwing it in there. It's just gonna look off. So, by by cutting them out, you get them to line up properly, and it'll look much better when they're coming through the window.
Have you got people
So-
to put on?
Yeah, I ordered a bunch. I ordered All different brands, actually. I'm trying to see which will be the best.
I think Prizer. I
You,
think, yeah.
Yeah, Prizer. I got some Prizer ones that don't have like their feet, you know, like they're kind of meant for benches.
They're expensive though.
But yeah, I got Woodland Scenic sells them, but they're usually not as is it Woodland Scenic or Walthers? Walthers. They don't. They're not as detailed as the Prizer ones. So we'll see which ones I like best. I kind of wanted to look good since I'm doing all this work.
Well, seeing as you're going to all that effort, especially with the lighting and all that sort of stuff, you really want them to look good.
Yeah, so the Prizer ones, they're expensive, but I think it'll be worth it. It's actually the figures that cost more than these cars do, to be honest. Because you figure how many you put into seats, you know.
You don't have to fill up every seat.
No, but you know, there's a lot of rows, and they usually come in packs of like 6 or 9. So
yeah, there's not many per pack, but like they've got eyes and facial stuff, which most figures don't. They're just skin color.
Yeah, exactly. So I need to find some of them. I did get like an old train crew, so it's got like the conductors. That would have been perfect with him moving around. That would be so cool.
So cool. Tickets, please.
Yeah, we'll see.
If you can find someone that sells a linear motor drive that's just a straight line, you know, like whether it's possible or not, I don't know because I haven't seen it done. But if anyone can do it, you can give it a shot for sure.
Well, the nice thing about it is I built these kits. Like they want you to glue the roofs on, but I made them so there's magnets, so I could snap the magnet roof down.
Good idea.
And for the lighting and stuff, I said, well, if I'm gonna, God forbid, a wire comes loose or a figure comes loose, and now it's glued all together, I'm not tearing it apart. So it's
because the only way that'll happen is with an X-Acto knife.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna make them removable. So I could always put the interiors in, and if I figure out a way to make it work, I could just pop them up. Since they're not glued down, they're just stuck down. We'll see. Do you know? I mean, by the way, do you know what's in? I don't know if you guys know much about like heavyweight passenger cars, but do you know what usually goes in? Like, I know they put baggage and stuff. It's like an extra baggage car, but I don't know. Like, I was reading some of them have like mail. They put like mails.
It depends how they set up the combine.
Yeah.
So looking at that looks like just a baggage combine. But you did get some combines which was the postal service and then the passenger cars.
Yeah, because this train only ran, from Atlantic City, New Jersey to like near New York. So it didn't go that far. So I don't think it would have I don't know if it would have mail or not. It probably was just used for luggage.
Yeah. Actually, let me have a look. Let's see, heavyweight combine. Because I think that's the two that you got. You got passenger and luggage, or passenger and postal.
Yeah.
And I'm just having a
it
look.
would be cool. Either way I do it, like if they had mail in there, I kind of want to design and 3D print the little boxes with the mail slots and everything. But if it's just luggage, I need to figure out a way to kind of maybe 3D print again, like a whole bunch of bags piled up. I think that would look cool in there. Since it's all lit, it lights up really nice.
Well, as I say, it depends on the combine because there's not just one combine version. There's several. You got luggage and passenger, kitchen and diner, kitchen and passenger, postal and passenger, postal and baggage.
With a dining car, there is a dining car in this consist, and that was towards the back, so I don't think they'd have dining stuff up there.
Yeah, because I'm looking at one of the combines, and basically, almost a bit more than half of the heavyweight is the kitchen, and the other half is the dining. Oh, hang on. Yeah, no, that one's baggage.
Baggage.
Yep. If it was a postal, the postal section would take up 2/3 of the passenger car, and then the last bit of it would be passenger seats.
Okay, so that's easier for me then, because I could easily try to figure out how to make some bags to put in there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've got a few heavyweights, and I'm waiting for some more heavyweights to pop up so I can start swapping over my roster, because I just want to run certain trains, but so I'm going to have enough, passenger cars. I just keep the ones that I have at the moment. And now that I'm doing the Pierre Marquette excursion, I've got a troop kitchen car and a troop sleeper car coming, which I'll convert into the tool car and generator car. And then I've got 6 Atlas or Concord passenger cars coming. Basically 1 dining and 5 passenger.
Yeah.
So, which work fine, because I think the actual excursion runs just basically passenger and dining for the North Pole Express.
Oh, cool.
So I'll get that done, and that'll be a pretty cool train to run on the layout.
Yeah, these cars are heavy. I made them a little bit heavier on purpose, because they're gonna have the pickups for the electrical. And
how much do they weigh?
I don't know. I compared them. I had a scale here somewhere, but I lost it. It's somewhere. But I would say, I think they were close to maybe 7 or 8 ounces, which is like 2 ounces more than they should be. But
7 or 8 ounces.
You're losing things like Steve, are you, John?
What's that?
Be nice. Yeah, be nice.
What's that?
You're losing things like Steve loses his rear.
Well, I'm looking at the NMRA standard, and basically they say HO is 1 ounce plus half an ounce for every inch of body car.
Yeah, and I think this one is, I did the math, it was supposed to be 6 ounces, I believe. So they're a little heavier, but I mean, I compared them to my Union Pacific, the excursion cars, and they're way bigger, and they weigh about the same as these. So
that's all right.
Yeah, and they're not gonna. There's max is gonna be 7 cars that I ever build for these anyway, so it's not like it's gonna be a really long train.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's as long as essentially a local service was anyway.
Yeah.
Because as I was saying at the start of the video, the Pierre Marquette's was only a 7 or 8 car concert with an A and a B in it, and that was it.
Yeah, and this train, it was different. Only they ran 2 of them. They went like both ways in both directions throughout the day. And only the evening one from Atlantic City to New York had the dining car on it. So it wasn't uncommon for it to be one without the dining car and one with. So until I build that one, it'll at least look kind of prototypical.
Yeah. Yeah, it keeps all the river counters at bay.
Yeah. I don't know. No. To be honest, one thing about this train is it's a kind of a popular train, but at the same time, there's not much about it. There's not much.
Yeah, because it's only a Pacific and the heavyweights. That's it.
Yeah, and I try to do as much research as I can, and there's not much. I mean, there are pictures, but they're all black and white, and they're all, not good quality. And there's pretty rare you find interior pictures. So,
you're better off finding blueprints and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using the modeler's license just to make it somewhat accurate, but it's not going to be 100%. And even these cars, they're not Blue Comet kits. They're C&J New Jersey kits. So I've read that the C&J, they took some of their normal fleet and they just kind of painted them like the Blue Comet, and they redid the interiors a little bit. So it's not too far off, but I'm sure there'll be people out there, oh, that's wrong and this is wrong or whatever. It's all
Well, but then again, if the people that do approach you and go, that isn't right, you can turn around and go, well, can you tell me the information, because I've done all the research I could and I couldn't find anything. So tell me what is wrong with it.
Yeah.
Because they'll put them back in their place, because they'll kind of go,
Yeah, I mean, or like, let me see your version of it. And then, because not many people have really built these. So
yeah, well, it's like when I was looking up photos for the Pierre Marquette passenger cars. Do you think I can find a photo? Nah.
probably.
But after doing some research, I found when Chesapeake and Ohio took over Pierre Marquette, they kept the color scheme for those passenger cars. So I was like, okay, so I have a good idea what they should be painted. So I'm just going to go off that, and if someone comes around and says that's wrong, I'll be like, okay, what's the correct one?
Yeah, exactly. I know that, like, the dining car that I found, there's no one that makes that dining car. And I even went ahead and, like, found pictures of them and counted, like, the windows and the window configuration. And I found one that's very close. It has one extra window, but I don't think you'll notice. Like, if someone wants to point that out and bash me for it, then go ahead. I really don't care. But it's the closest I could get. And, you know, it's otherwise completely designing a car from scratch by 3D printing or something. By then it's like, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
No.
It'll be close enough.
If you already had the file there, yeah, it'd be half worth it. But to try and actually design it, like,
no.
To get a prototypical, you have to find out measurements and whatnot, figure out the scale.
Yeah, and this is a nice kit. It's a brass. It's a brass plastic kit. It's got brass sides and everything, all the brass details. So it'll be really nice when it's done. So I think, I don't know, it'll work for me. That's all I care about.
Yeah. If someone points it out, then you can go, well, tell me where I can buy the right one.
Yeah, I'd love to find out, actually, so I could actually get one.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, you know, a lot of people don't understand, you know, if you do run across one of these river counters that says it's wrong, put them back in their place. Like, okay, well, because ultimately, they're going to have the information you've been looking for.
Well, yeah, if they could, if they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, like, it's like, as I said a while back, I'm not sure if you were watching the show or not, there's a guy who did a scale replica of a railroad that's been discontinued here in Victoria. And every time he takes an exhibition, he always gets someone new saying, oh, you better add a bicycle there. Oh, why is that? Oh, because when I used to work there 50 years ago, that's where I used to put my bike every morning. You know, or oh, you got to do this to the platform. Why? Because this happened. Oh, you got to put some graffiti there. Why? Because someone drew graffiti there around this day. Well, he gets all these people from, you know, that know the area from when they were younger, and they're just feeding him information. It's like, oh, that's wrong. Why is it wrong? Well, when I was there, this is how it was. Oh, okay.
I saw people like go all over the internet just finding somewhere where they could point out someone's flaws. Like, that's all they do. They just get off on it. It's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, no, luckily this guy, a lot of the people that he speaks to, you know, they just get really excited because of all the detail he's put into it. And, you know, and how he's trying to recreate that year. So he's always getting feedback from people that's like, you know, like they approach him like, that's not right. And he, you know, he's like, how's it not right? It's like, well, this is why. You know, because I used to work there, or I used to live there, or I used to, you know, take this train every day.
Yeah.
So he enjoys it because he's just getting fathoms of information to make it more accurate.
Yeah, like well, with for me, like with RailServe, which is what I model, I knew nothing about it. I just knew that those locomotives are that color, and let me look online and see what they are. And I was like, oh, the company's called RailServe. I had no idea what it was, and then I just build my models off of pictures. But I've had a lot of people contact me, in a good way. They're like, hey, those look, they look really good. And by the way, our company, we do this, 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 and they give me all the inside details of how the company operates and all this and that. So it's actually really cool. A lot of those guys I talk to all the time, and they give me a lot of good information, and I love that part, to connect with people.
Oh yeah, because it's the thing, like, because you go to them and you go, hey, I just did this. Is this right? No, you just got to change this up a little bit, or you got to add that.
Yep. And I did, I built a little, I was asking them, I was like, well, I want to do like switch lists or something, pretty basic. And what do you guys use? And they're like, we draw our own, we write our own. We just get the cars we need to move at this plant, and we, write it as we go. One guy sent me all like old switch lists that he made. So I've been using that as kind of like a guide, but it's fun.
Exactly. Oh. Damn, it's 2:30.
I don't see what. I gotta go grab my iPad. Are you guys getting off, or are you staying off for a little while?
I was just going to share a few photos. Application window. Here we are. Because Joe was about articulated locomotives.
Oh, you're teasing me again, you damn woman.
So it's in bits at the moment because I've got to add weight to the inside the smoke box and in the coal bunker, because every time, because we've got the drive rods in the connected to the motor now, and there's a decoder in the firebox. But the problem is the motor's got so much torque, it just twists the whole thing off the track. So it just throws, because there's no weight over the top of these rear drive wheels at the front, and same with the back, because the tanks, which are pewter, they're solid. So the weight's all on the front, but there's no weight on the back drive wheels, and same underneath the coal bunker, there's no weight in there. So yeah, the torque just throws them off at that part of the chassis. So,
and I'm guessing that's once the loco's running, essentially.
Well, it is kind of running at the moment. I've just had to separate it so we can put the weight in it.
Yeah. No, because I'm just thinking, like, if there's that much torque in the motor, you probably would have gone through all the motor adjustments you could with the decoder to try and bring the torque down.
But not yet. Not yet.
All right, I'll be back. Do you have traction tires on those, or is it just all?
No, there's no traction tires on them.
Wow.
The two inner drivers on both sets are flangeless, because the prototype, what they did was the front and the third, I believe, were flangeless, but we've changed it this way so that having the two inner flangeless and the two outer flanged, it'll make it go around tighter curves and things like that. Even though that it is an articulated locomotive, so it is designed to go around tight curves. We've changed the headlights on it as well, so you can see in this shot here that it's got the proper WAGR headlights on it. And you can see there as well those two inner drivers that are
got no flanges.
What scale is that?
S scale.
Wow.
Narrow gauge, still narrow gauge. Because the Australian standard Garrett was quite literally the horse designed by a committee. It was a camel.
What size, like, compared to like a US big boy, is that, like, in terms of actual scale size? Is it bigger?
Big boy next to it. It's probably bigger than a big boy.
Hang on, I'm looking it up now.
The ASG in real life, I don't think it was as tall as a big boy, but lengthwise it might be close. I think a big boy actually is longer.
Well, if I'm looking up the 8060, which is the New South Wales one.
No, 8060s are bigger than ASG.
ASG.
Did they have like a tender on it too?
The Australian Standard Garrett. Are you talking about?
Here we go. Length. The length of those are 85 and 85 feet and 9.5 inches.
Wow.
How long's a big boy?
$85 feet, 3/4 inches.
Wow.
So literally, we're talking about 6 inches in difference in length.
That's a large locomotive.
They were. They were designed as the standard because they were a wartime locomotive, and they were designed as a standard for all Australian narrow gauge, all Australian 3'6" railways. So they were supposed to be able to run in Western Australia, in South Australia, Queensland, which they black banned, and they did run in Tasmania, and one was bought for the Finesford Portland Cement Works in Finesford, which is near Geelong in Victoria. So they were all over Australia. That's why they were called them the Australian Standard Garrett. But they were designed by the Chief Mechanical Engineer of Western Australia, and they had lots and lots of problems with them. The ASGs were, because they were designed to run on all the different railway networks. And the problem with all the different railway networks is, yes, they all had the same gauge, but for example, in Queensland, they had very, very light railway lines. That's why they went with the Garrett rather than with a Mallet, which is like a big boy or a Challenger. And the other reason for the other problems they had was Queensland had a very tight loading gauge, very small tunnels and things like that. And whereas West Australia, we were as one of my Queensland friends used to say, he used to call it the relaxed loading gauge. So our locos were much bigger, much heavier, but we had the space to do it, whereas Queensland didn't. Tasmania, they were very successful, but that was because they implemented all the changes that was recommended by the inquiry board, which most of the other states didn't do all the changes that were needed to make them run efficiently. And they were based very heavily on the West Australian S-Class mountain locomotives, so that's why they look very, very similar.
I was just looking up the 8060. The 8060 is a lot longer.
Yeah, that's a Bayer Garrett.
Yeah, 108 feet, 7 inches.
108 feet, 7 inches.
Yep.
I'll be right back. I gotta grab my iPad and a coffee real quick.
Yeah, that's all right.
They were a monster, the 8060s. They are supposed to be the biggest Garretts in the Southern Hemisphere. I think they might be only just bigger than the South African ones. I'm not sure. I think the South Africans might be a little bit bigger.
No, I think they were designed off the South African ones and they made them a bit bigger because it's got an adhesion weight of 282,000 pounds with a loco weight of 562 pounds.
But if you compared my S-scale ASG to my HO8060, the HO8060 is a lot smaller.
Oh, yeah, it would be.
But I shared that one for Jo because she was asking about articulated locomotives, narrow gauge articulated locomotives. So that's a narrow gauge articulated locomotive.
Because they were a high pressure cylinder, weren't they? They weren't a compound cylinder.
No, I think they were.
Because the Malates were compound.
No, they're different
Or-
to Malays.
Yeah, because from what I remember, compound means it recycles the exhaust gases from one set of cylinders to the other set of cylinders.
No, it's not like that.
Yeah, so it's high pressure.
Yeah. That's why they had such big. You can see the boiler was so large on the ASG.
Yeah. Didn't they have issues of running out of water on hilly areas?
I think that was the MSA that had that problem because they had really large boilers for their size as well, and they're quite a small little garret.
Hmm.
Yeah,
because that's what I heard. Like the garrets were a good design because it spread the weight out evenly, but the downside was because of such a small boiler. Whenever you got anything happening up a hill, it lost steam pressure because it essentially just ran out of water because it couldn't keep up with capacity.
You see, that was where the ASG was quite a clever machine. There's a pipe on the right-hand side, so that would be the fireman's side of the locomotive,
Yeah.
that equalises the water in both tanks.
Yep.
So they did do that, so they could keep the weight over the drivers as well as if they had any issues with getting water to the boiler, they could always transfer it along. So they never really had that kind of issue unless they used a lot of water because they needed a lot of steam. But you can see on the front of an ASG, they did have those little tap things so they could connect up extra tankers with water, because when the ASGs used to run between Kalgoorlie and Esperance, which was one of the last things they were done before they were withdrawn, they used to carry the water gin behind them for that reason, because that was quite a long distance with no stops in between.
Yeah.
Between Hardy and Esperance.
Oh God.
But the 8060s never really travelled long distances because New South Wales isn't a very big state in comparison.
No,
Like
it was a lot more localised because
The
everyone's
8060s on the
localised.
short north quite a lot.
I gotta clean this workbench.
Hey Shannon,
Yeah.
have you got the chat window up in the stream?
Oh yeah, it's not up.
Yeah, someone's just pointed that out, that it's not coming up. It was,
Hang on. I wish I noticed it earlier because. There we go.
yeah, Erie did have a similar problem with their triplets.
Yeah, the triplexes were known to have that issue real bad.
Hmm. But I thought it was clever that the ASG had the water balancing pipeline so they could do that. So they always had adhesion over the drivers. The theory with the 8060, however, was they could go anywhere a 32 class could go, in theory. But they never really did send them out into branch lines because they were needed for the more heavier traffic lines,
Yeah.
like W44 and the coal trains on the short north. For those who are playing at home, the short north is the main line between Sydney and Newcastle in New South Wales. It's a distance of something like 100 miles or something like that, so that's why they call it the short north.
Actually, that's one thing that I got annoyed about. First time I went to Newcastle, they had the Newcastle rail line and train station, and it was all beautiful. Second time I went to Newcastle, all gone.
Yep. I was there on the last train that they had, the last Newcastle Flyer and the last steam train to enter the old Newcastle station. It was quite sad that they've done that, and they replaced it now with a light rail. And so you've got to change trains at, is it Wickham? I think it's Wickham. You change train to light rail, and you go light rail all the way up to Newcastle Beach, or what they call Newcastle Beach, but it's not Newcastle Beach, because Newcastle Beach is still another 50 to 100 metres away.
Yeah. Well, it's not too bad because the train actually, because the light rail and the train station is pretty much in the same section, I think.
Yeah, they're right next to each other, but
Yeah.
it's the trouble of having to get off the train, tag off, and then tag back on again to get on the tram.
Oh, they've done that. Fucking assholes.
Yep.
No wonder it's a pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
and-
actually, they're really weird light rail trains.
yeah, they're interesting because they run on capacitors.
Yeah.
They don't have an overhead line as such. They still have the pantographs, but when they stop at each station, they raise and lower the pantographs to charge them up.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting little setup they've got.
Yeah, and but no, I think they've upgraded them because now what happens is you got pantographs up until the first stop, and then the pantographs discontinue.
Yeah. Let me see if I can look them up. I did get some great photos of them when I was up there last.
Because the wife and I were up there December. And yeah, we went for a walk with Andreas and whatnot. Mind you, a lot of places were closed.
Yeah, of course.
Actually, what's the hobby shop in Newcastle?
Frontline Hobbies.
Yeah.
Or are you talking about
No, it is Frontline.
Barnes is much better.
Barnes. Oh, I've just. I don't think I've seen Barnes, but no, I went to Frontline because I always like going in there to have a look around.
Mm.
And I was a bit devastated to find that they cut their store in half.
Oh yeah, they've got another store now, which is in Broadmeadow.
Ah, that's what they've done.
Hmm.
I was thinking about going to the hobby shop today. My father-in-law, we're building a layout for him, and we're getting pretty far along. So I need to go buy some more track.
And the whole reason why they wanted to do it was because they wanted to get rid of the overhead going across this street, which I forgot the name of this street now. I think it's Stewart Avenue or something like that.
No, so that's the station, right? But as soon as you come across the street, there's no overheads on the station side. The overheads on the rail side.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's no overhead on this side. And the railway line used to go through here.
Yeah.
It used to be overhead here. So that's why they got rid of the railway line. So they could get rid of the overhead.
Well, it's not just that. It was also because of the what's it called? The railroad crossings. Because every time a train came through, it gridlocked pretty much that whole section of Newcastle.
Well, a tram's got to do the same thing.
No, because now they rebuilt it all. They've eliminated a lot of the crossings.
Well, they limited it, but you still got to stop for a tram.
Yeah, but it's not as gridlocked as it used to be.
I still think it's a stupid idea because apart from the fact you've got to change all the time, it's 2 kilometres. That's all it is.
For those of you playing out there, that's about 1.7 miles.
Mm-hmm. It's a very short little system and a lot of money for probably not much real gain. And the reason why they did it was to so they could get basically they could make all the stores in the inner city cheaper to lease. That's why all those stores are closed in Hunter Street.
Hmm. There's heaps of reasons, but oh well. It is what it is.
Trust me, as someone who used to live in Newcastle for 5 years, you know, I know a fair bit about the area.
Yeah, no, the in-laws live in Raymond Terrace.
Oh, Raymond Terrace. I used to work there.
Oh,
Raymond Terrace sucked.
it's cleaned up a little bit, but it still has its reputation.
Yeah. Good old Raymond Terrace.
Yeah.
Named after the terrace of trees, and by a couple of brothers, they named it. The guy who named it after his brother. It's Raymond's Terrace of trees.
Is there a lot of trees there?
There were, not anymore.
A lot of new houses there.
Oh, there are now. Yeah.
Mm.
Not much in the way of a public transport system up that way.
Oh, they run a couple of buses now.
Yeah, but that's about it.
I just looked over to my printer and I just remembered I have to do something.
You got to write these things down, Shannon.
No, I've got to print off my tax return and sign it and then send it back to my tax agent.
I just did my taxes.
Mine's done.
We got an extension till July. It was July 15th, I think. So naturally, I waited till like the last day.
Last minute.
Yeah. Actually, the laws here in Australia are actually quite easy with tax returns because they give us a date in September to get it done. But what a lot of people are starting to do now is they do it every second year.
Oh.
Because the tax office doesn't start fining you until your tax return's 3 years late.
I was dreading doing my taxes this year because I did a lot of, for flying, I work for my boss, but I have a lot of off time and he doesn't mind that we do like contract flying. So in aviation, you can make some good money. Like on my airplane, the Challenger, the going rate is like $1,200 a day for contract work. So my friend, he's the only pilot on the account and he always just takes his contract guy. So he'd take, hey, we got a 3-day trip coming up, 4-day trip. I'm like, I'll do it. Go fly one day, sit somewhere, fly home 3 days later, make all that cash. But I had to save all that money for taxes because there's no taxes taken out of it.
Yeah, so you have to wait for the taxman to say, okay, well, you got to give us X dollars.
Exactly. So I've been like dreading to see the number that I owed on taxes. So I just kept putting it off, and finally did it. I was like, that's not bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Nah, I'm getting about. I'm estimated to get about 2.5 back because I've still got value on tools that are depreciating. So. But next year, I think basically my taxes will be about where they need to be on average. So.
Well, like Florida, there's no state income tax. So on your paycheck, you don't pay to Florida. You just pay to the government or to, federal government. So you save a little money living down here. But because I remember when I lived in Jersey, it was ridiculous. Extra state tax.
Yeah, we got, what do we have? We got we pay the ATO and then our tax money goes towards Medicare, which is our free healthcare system.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
What else?
Military,
police, ambos.
all those government-run stuff.
Yeah.
Public transport.
Dole bludgers. Why couldn't we be like the Swiss? I think it's Switzerland.
Hey, I'm not a dole bludger. I pay tax. I pay a lot of tax.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I pay something like $14,000 worth of tax.
What? Jesus Christ! How much are you earning a year?
55.
Oh, really?
But I don't claim the tax-free threshold,
Oh, so you have to put extra tax in.
so I get more
You
back at tax time. It's like forced savings.
Yeah.
You don't want to know how much I paid in taxes this year.
I can imagine it'd be a lot for you.
Well, I did so much contract flying, I kind of screwed myself. Well, I didn't screw myself, but for taxes I did. But
No, that's not as bad as one of the guys I used to work with. He works for a drilling company that gets contracted by all the mining companies. Like they'll basically call his boss up and go, "Can you drive out here, drill a hole deep in the ground, and tell us if it's going to make us any money or not?"
oh yeah,
You know. And
Yeah.
anyway, he estimated how much he earned, and it was something like $185,000 a year. But out of that 185,000, he takes home 90 of it.
oh yeah, yeah. It's I always do like when I do my contract flying, I always take 50% of it and put it away because I know they're gonna tax the crap out of me.
Yeah,
So-
because you'd be in a higher tax bracket and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It threw me way over. And what sucks is like my wife, she just works like a small job. You know, she works at a gym, but you know, I basically make the income for us. So what sucks is when she works, I mean, we file together sometimes, and so they tax her the 27% or whatever it is because she's in the same tax bracket as me. Technically, since we're living in the same house. So it's like a mess.
Mm.
That's such a rort. They do that. They do that here too.
Yeah. Yeah, after you earn over, what is it, 120,000? It's 51 cents.
Combined.
Nah, I'm just talking about the tax bracket. I think once you hit 120,000 or up, they tax you 51 cents to the dollar.
And that's combined. If you're married, they take your wife's into account as well.
Yeah.
I forget what mine is. It's
So even if, like in John's situation with, even though his wife's not earning a lot, she'll get taxed at the same amount he does because it's combined.
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, yeah, I got hit with 24. It was 24% last year, which isn't that bad, but it adds up.
Oh yeah, it
Well,
does add up.
When you earn that kind of money, of course, it's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, it pretty much means for every dollar you make, 25 cents of it goes to the government.
Yeah. I guess that's part of adulting, right?
Yeah. And yet somehow the government still screw us every day.
Yeah.
Welcome, Joe.
What?
I was just saying you're welcome, Joe, because she wanted to thank me for showing her my articulated loco.
Alright.
Well, it's like here in the States, we got like I forget what it was for that the COVID relief. They gave out $1,200 per person, $2,400 for a joint, and so many per kid. If you made up to a certain amount, then it slowly went away, and then eventually you got nothing if you made so much money. And I remember my wife's like, "Oh, we're getting $2,400." I'm like, "No, we're not." I'm like, "Do the math. Like, we're not getting anything." She's like, "Well, I don't understand. My friends are getting $1,200." I'm like, "Well, we ain't getting nothing."
Because I earn X dollars.
I mean, I'm sure that the government's gonna have some way of making us all pay that back eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like here in Australia, we've got what's called JobKeeper.
didn't qualify for any of it.
Sorry?
I didn't qualify for any of them because they were for pensioners, and mine's not a pension, mine's an insurance.
Ah.
It's like life insurance. I'm being paid out life insurance basically. So it's kind of a pension, like it gets paid in fortnightly, but it's not a a disability pension. So I didn't qualify as having a disability, even though I do have a disability.
For those
So
of
it's
you playing at home, a fortnight is 2 weeks.
Do the Americans not have fortnights?
No, that's an Australian term.
Oh,
Fortnite? You mean the video game?
no.
I'm just kidding.
I know you're teasing, John.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got what's called JobKeeper, and basically the government pays the employers $1,500 every 2 weeks for the employer to then pay their workers who aren't working that money. And the way my work's going, I'm not going back to work till at least October. But come September, it's going from 1,500 to 1,200, and then come January, it's going to go from 1,200 to 1,000. And I don't think $500 a week is going to be enough for me to pay rent, bills, and feed 3 kids and look after my wife.
Jesus.
So that's what I get to look forward to.
Yeah, these are crazy times, man.
So
That's why we have this wonderful hobby.
yeah,
Thanks, John. You brought us back on track.
Back
Yeah.
on track. We have this wonderful hobby.
yeah, it's all because Steve came back doing his adulting.
I got so much stuff. I'm trying to multitask.
Yeah. No, that's right. The whole time you were gone, we were talking about taxes and the government, how they're screwing us over.
Depressing stuff.
Oh yeah, politicking. Yes.
Yeah.
I like to live in my hobby room and just not worry about news or anything. This is my world. This is
bubble.
fun.
The
Exactly.
bubble. The hobby bubble. Nothing going on inside.
Yeah, nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I've got to be careful with my hobby bubble because I've got 2 boys that love to. One loves to try and run the trains, the other one likes to just grab and snatch and throw.
Yeah. I don't have any kids. Luckily, my cat, he can easily jump up there, but he's never done it. And I'm like so thankful for that because he would definitely destroy it.
Actually, I managed to
Kitty stories.
I wouldn't say get electrocuted, but I was getting shocked by the power cab.
Really?
Yeah, I was working on late. I was fixing a turnout because it was all muddled, and I put my elbow on the track. And as soon as I put my elbow on the track, something tingling, and I'm like, "What the hell was that?"
Oh, that's happened to me before. I've
So
done that.
Yeah, so I put my elbow on it, and I realized, like, oh, the DCC signal is short-circuiting through my elbow.
Yeah, it's like your own block detection.
Yeah. But literally, like, I could feel it was like, zzz. I'm like, oh, what the hell? That feels so weird.
That's funny.
I've done that. It's a weird feeling because I normally lay across tracks with my forearm if I'm trying to reach something.
Yeah.
So I get it on the forearm a lot.
Yeah. It's just the weirdest feeling.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is. Like, it's not electrocution.
Yeah,
Nah, if you're electrocuted, you pretty much die.
Yeah,
It's a shock. It's an electric shock.
it's because it's AC current.
Yeah,
Well,
you feel the current.
It's debatable because AC it's a alternating waveform, but because it's digital, it's not an AC current. It's a DC digital. It's a DC alternating digital current, which
It's digital command control.
yeah,
It's DCT.
yeah, because
DC.
that's the weird thing. Because like AC, if you look at an AC signal, it is actually alternating. It goes from, for example, 12 volts goes down to 0, then minus 12 volts, then back to 0, where with digital it's 0, positive 12, 0, negative 12, 0, positive. Like, it's very, very, very
That
weird.
makes. There's ants that kill you.
Mm,
Voltage.
yeah. I know, I've been electrocuted for sure. I was technically dead for 10 seconds when I was 3.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well,
Playing-
isn't it the hard part to put forks into the electrical socket?
No, I wasn't doing that. No, I was playing with my grandparents' Christmas lights, trying to put. There was this one light bulb near the Navy set, and there was a hole in the back of the Navy set. So I'm like, oh, I want to light it up. So I'm trying to put this light globe in the back of the Navy set. And anyway, I put so much pressure against the light globe with my thumb, I snapped the globe, and my thumb attached. Anyway, I remember touching it, and I remember coming out of it. I don't remember the time in between, but every time I asked my mum, she said basically everyone in the lounge room heard a pop, and I was just kind of sitting there, kind of shaking a little. Then they realised what was happening. Mum's gone to grab me. As she's grabbed me, she got shocked, got thrown back, and whilst that happened, my granddad ran to the power point and pulled the plug out. And I was getting electrocuted for long enough that when I came back to, I was kind of looking around wondering, why is everyone crying? Why is everyone so stressed out? And I vividly remember looking at my thumb, and my thumb had burnt down to the point you could see my bone.
Jeez.
Ooh.
So,
Yeah, you're lucky. I'm surprised I didn't blow the breaker or something like that.
well, this house, because this was back in 1992, so in Australia, a lot of houses didn't have breakers.
Oh, wow.
So, but also because it was Christmas tree lights, it didn't have the ground. It didn't have the ground prong. It only had the positive, negative. So there was nothing to really trigger a breaker.
And it still would have been 240 volt.
Yeah. But yeah, but every time I tell the story, people are like, I don't believe you. And I'm like, you don't believe me? Have a look at my fingerprints.
Leslie Gilpin's on. Hello.
Hey, Leslie. Yeah, because if you look at my fingerprints, you look at them, out of my 10 fingers, 9 of them are very similar. And then my thumb that got burnt is a completely different pattern.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like my friend's in the auto body, you know?
Yeah.
And he has like no more fingerprints at all. They're like gone from sanding.
Oh,
Years.
Jesus, yeah.
He like literally has no fingerprints. It's hilarious. I'm like, dude, you could like get away with anything now.
Yeah, you could rob a bank.
Yeah. Well, not too hard now wearing a mask.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. You could come in with a bloody
Like,
what's that guy from
like a-
Batman? The Dark Knight Rises.
Christian
Bane.
Bale.
Yeah, Bane.
Bane.
Yeah, you come in with a Bane mask and he's like, "What's that for?" Corona.
Is
Yeah,
it
this
Bane
is a
or
hold
Bane?
up.
I think it's Bane. Yeah.
You can mention the showstopper, Shannon.
Yeah. I'm tired.
No sure.
It's 3:15 a.m.
3:15. Holy crap!
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to make lunch.
Yeah, well, I'm on the east coast of Australia. Ally's on the west coast, so
It's only 1:16 a.m. here.
For all of the U.S. people listening, I'm about to get some Chick-fil-A, which is glorious.
I have heard it is glorious.
can
Yeah,
someone
it's like
educate
right
me what it
there.
is?
It's like right. It's probably like 200 yards from my apartment. Amazing.
Go for a walk.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have to go through the drive-thru. It's the only thing open.
Oh, yeah, of course. I bet you they don't let you walk through drive-thrus over there, huh?
Nah. Yeah, Yeah, and it makes me feel really lazy, and I go get fast food in a car that's like 150 yards away. It's like really bad.
Yeah, they don't let you do it here either. Because I remember some drunk nights. We used to get fast food. We used to try and walk through the drive-through, pretending we were cars
I did it on a horse once.
on a horse.
Yeah, they served us too.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
hilarious.
Actually, I remember seeing photos. There's a couple of guys that I used to know, and they showed me the photos. They went through the trouble. They built a car out of cardboard boxes, painted it, drew everything on it, you name it. And, and all four of them got in it, to support each corner. And they go through drive-through, they get to the drive-through window. And the guy looks at them and goes, fuck it, it's midnight. I'll serve you anyway. It looks like a car. It's not like you're holding up anyone.
That's awesome.
Oh. Yeah, it was good fun. Actually, that reminds me of the time I jumped out of a moving car.
So that sounds like a story. Proceed.
An adventure.
Okay, so me and a few mates, we started drinking, and I was getting pretty wasted.
It's a good story when it starts with, I was with a few mates and we were drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then one of my mates messages me. He's like, "Oh, I'm coming down your way from the city. Do you want to meet up?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And anyway, so then we called our other mate. It's like, "Hey, we've been drinking. Do you want to come by and pick us up and go for a drive?" "Yeah, no worries." So he picks us up and we're meeting up with my other mate. Anyway, I'm hanging out the window, with like a bloody dog, and I'm wearing this beanie that Mum made me, and I love this beanie. Like everywhere I went, I wore this beanie. Anyway, as we're driving along, it flew off, and I put my head back in the car. I'm like, "Pull over! My beanie just fallen off. Pull over!" And he's like, "I ain't stopping. I'm gonna keep going." The next corner he took, I jumped out.
Oh my god.
We were doing like 40 mile when I jumped out.
Ooh.
I can tell you literally the next day, the whole left side of me was black and blue. I was stiff as anything. And Mum looked at me, like, "What did you do?" And I'm just like to Mum, "Oh, not much, I was just being stupid." And she's like, "Yeah, I can see that. What did you do?" I'm like, "Don't worry, I'm alive. It's all good." I don't remember if I told her or not.
Hey guys, I'm gonna take off. I got some stuff I got to do, so I'm gonna scoot.
All right, so
All right.
All right, you guys have fun. I'll watch the replay.
Take care.
I'll probably be heading off soon anyway. I'm about to pass out.
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming
we
on,
should all
John.
go.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm debating if I'm driving. Am I going or not? I don't know if I'm gonna go to the hobby store.
Well, if you don't go to the hobby store, you can look up linear motors.
I was going to say it would make more sense if you went to the hobby store and then came back and went through the drive-through. Then you wouldn't feel so bad.
This is true. This is true. But I'm hungry now, so maybe I'll go drive through first. And I'm getting tired of standing in these damn seats. My hands are getting all messed up.
It's a shame you don't have the time to make up a jig where you can just line up all the seats on the jig and then just use the jig to place them all in one hit.
I thought of it. I also thought of 3D printing a whole row of them, but again, I was nervous that I'd be off by like the smallest bit and they won't line up in the windows. So I'm like, I might as well.
You only just, the first one would be off by like a tiny bit and it would just add on and add on.
Oh, exactly. And it would bother me beyond belief, and I would end up cutting them all out and doing exactly what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. Oh, all right. I guess we'll call it an afternoon, night, depending on where everyone is in the world.
Well, it is morning here.
It's Friday. You guys got work tomorrow, don't you?
I don't work.
Yeah, I'm not working. That's why I'm a job keeper. That's why I'm being paid. I'm paying taxes to get paid taxes.
Gotcha. I go back to
And
work on the
I'm
5th.
off to the club tomorrow.
You're off to the what
I gotta
pub?
go.
To a railway club.
Oh, club. I thought you said pub. I'm like, what?
No, I don't drink.
Oh, you can still go to the pub and have a meal. Jeez.
I could. Don't really feel like going to the pub though.
Actually, quick question: do people in the States drink? Do people in the States know what Parmesanas are?
The palmy.
The palm of what?
Parmigiana.
What is that, like cheese? Parmesan cheese?
Ali, do you want to educate? Because I don't really eat Parmesanas.
Chicken palmy. You've got to mention the whole name. Chicken palmy.
Chicken
It's like
parm?
crumb chicken
Fillet.
fillet, yeah. And it's with sauce and cheese and yum.
Like tomato sauce? Like
Okay, imagine making a pizza, but instead of a pizza dough base, it's a chicken base.
Yeah.
well, we do have like chicken parm, like chicken parmesan, which is like it's like a breaded chicken with, you know, red sauce, like spaghetti sauce on it, and
Yeah.
cheese.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
like, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but ours looks like dog shit.
It's usually a good cheap meal at a pub.
Yeah.
Mm.
But in
Usually
saying that,
pizza.
there's in Geelong, there's this one pub or restaurant. They've actually got a competition that they hold. They make the biggest chicken parmigiana in the world. They get the whole chicken. The whole chicken. They flatten it out. Make the chicken parmigiana. If you can eat that in an hour, it is free.
Oh god. I have a feeling your chicken parmigiana, or whatever you're calling it, is different than our chicken parm. Well, and our chicken parm is mostly is Italy. It's Italian. So maybe it's different.
Probably the same thing.
Now everything Australians do, we butcher it. I mean, come on, we butchered the English language for God's sakes.
I had satay veggies last night. That was yummy. I'm a veggie, so you know. I used to eat chicken and stuff like that, but not anymore.
Yeah, the way I'm going, I might have to give up meat, and I'm not looking forward to it. I love meat, but the last steak I've had, it's been giving me tummy issues.
I had one of those Rebel Whoppers the other day. Oh, that was amazing. You know, the ones that are just like a normal Whopper, they have like 0% meat in them.
Yeah.
Oh, yum. That
They
was amazing.
said you can't taste the difference, but I don't know.
Is it the same with Burger King over there? They call it
I've
Whopper?
seen the commercials for it. I don't eat Burger King, but I've seen the commercials. I eat
Okay.
Chick-fil-A.
Nah,
Because it's closer.
nah, just
No,
point me.
because it's the best.
Nah, just point me to the closest KFC, and I'm happy.
You don't have Chick-fil-A in Australia?
Nah.
I don't think so.
If you guys ever when you come to the States, you have to experience it. It's good.
Do they do vegetarian options?
I don't know. They probably do, but it's all chicken. But it's good chicken. It's not like, you know, nasty chicken nuggets you get at McDonald's or something. It's like it's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Now, if I ever go to the States, take me to a steakhouse. I don't care what steakhouse.
Yeah, there is nothing better than a good steak. I like Ruth Chris Steakhouse is a good one.
Yeah.
Morton's.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
Good steak.
because I'm such a picky eater, I don't like any sauces or dressings or anything like that on my steaks or salads. I just like if it's drenched in its own blood, I'm happy. You know, medium rare, and like a lot of people, you know, you look at me. I'm only a short guy. I'm only like 5'6", 5'7", and every time I order a steak, it's Hang on, I'm trying to do the math now. It's just under a pound of steak with a side of salad, chips, and I usually order an extra side of chips and a drink, and I'll just down it.
Oh, now you're making me hungry.
Inhale it.
Oh yeah, like literally, my meal will be the last one out because it's so large, and yet I'll finish before everyone.
Well, you know what's funny is here, right next to Chick-fil-A, like right next to that building, is Outback Steakhouse. And it's funny because it's like I always wondered, I'm like Outback, you know, it's Australian, but I'm like, I don't know. You guys probably don't have Outback down there.
Yeah, we have Outback over here.
You do?
Yeah.
I thought it'd be like a thing. You'd be like, oh, stupid Americans. This.
I thought it was an American thing.
No, I think the Americans started it, but then the Australians, it's like, no, we're going to show you how it's really done.
Yeah.
Because the difference is, here in Australia, if you ever get the chance to eat kangaroo meat,
Really?
oh yeah,
It wasn't too bad.
yeah. Now kangaroo meat, how do I describe it? Well, it is a tougher meat because when you see a
It is tough.
yeah, like to give you an idea, like if Roy Container Man was over here, if he hits a kangaroo with his Peterbilt, his Peterbilt's going to go into the repair shop
Yeah.
because they're solid.
They go straight through windscreens and things like that.
Yeah, because they're just solid muscle. And the only thing worse than hitting a kangaroo is a wombat. And to give you an idea, yeah, a wombat. Imagine, imagine a pit bull made out of rock.
Oh wow.
So if you hit a kangaroo with a Peterbilt truck, it'll go in for panel repairs. You hit a wombat with a Peterbilt truck, you will ride the truck off. It will destroy the suspension.
Well, it's like down here in Florida, there's gator everywhere. They're everywhere, and people hit them and they'll total your car because they're big.
Yeah, and they're
People
solid.
eat them things too. It's gross. I don't like gator. Ugh.
Yeah. Now, if you get kangaroo, it's really like, you know how when you get a tough piece of steak and you can either get a really good tough piece or a shitty tough piece?
Yeah.
Kangaroo, it's always the good tough. So you can feel.
I don't know if I could do it. I feel bad. They look so innocent.
Yeah, they're cute.
No, they're not so innocent. If you ever come to Australia and come up against a kangaroo, you better be good at boxing.
Oh, the male ones are different. The male ones are rough.
Yeah. Because, they're not that tall. They're only 5'4" in height. They're only quite short.
Depends on what breed of kangaroo. Some of the big red ones are big.
Yeah. Anyway, some of the smaller ones, if you piss one of those off, one kick will break ribs.
It's like getting kicked by a horse.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But instead of you look at a horse foot, you're looking at an area a bit bigger than a mug. Whereas kangaroo, you're looking at a baseball bat hitting you in the chest and breaking 3 or 4 ribs.
I've seen the videos on YouTube and stuff of people getting attacked by kangaroos. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, it's funny, and that's the thing. Back in the day, people actually used to get drunk in the pub, out in these small towns, and if it's a kangaroo, they go, "All right, boys, boxing match is on. Who's in? Buddy's in. Come on!"
Oh my god.
You get all these drunk blokes just fighting this kangaroo, and the kangaroo's just going for it.
That's hilarious. Well, I have a feeling that you've been involved with something like that before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's funny to watch, but unfortunately, some breed of kangaroos here are rodents to us.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
You got quokkas. They're so cute. Quokkas are so cute.
Yeah, that's like gators down here. There's so many of them, but yet they're protected. If you get caught shooting a gator and keeping it, that's like a federal crime. It's a big deal. But yet they're everywhere.
Nah, here in Australia, people get paid to hunt kangaroo.
Yeah, you can hunt gator here, but you need a license. They only give out so many per year.
Yeah, no, it's the same here in Australia. You need to get a license to do hunting.
Yeah, and it's kind of messed up how they do it. Like I went with my friend once hunting gator, and they go out at night and they just shine like these spotlights on the boat, and you see their eyes, you know.
Yeah.
So when you get them close to the boat, they just shoot them in the head with like a shotgun round on like a stick, and they just whack them in the head. Goes right through their head and kills them. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, they do the same thing in with the meat industry. It's when they're killing the pigs and cows, and
Yeah.
basically it's like it's like a gun on an airline, and basically you press a trigger and out comes a spike and through the brain.
Wow, this conversation turned dark pretty
Yeah,
quick.
it turned very, very dark.
Yeah.
I used to be a meat eater, don't get me wrong. I used to be a meat eater, and then I met my ex, and she was vegan. So I sort of went vegetarian, vegan for a long time. And I tried eating meat again after it. And I just couldn't. I made
That's
myself
right here.
physically sick. So that's why I've
Yeah.
just stayed vegetarian.
Yeah, my wife did it for a while, and then now she does. I don't know what she's something. Not press. She does gluten-free stuff now, but 'cause she just found that.
Fish eating. I eat fish. I can eat fish.
I need meat. I need it.
Yeah. Now my sister, she needs to start eating a lot more meat because she's what's it called? She's iron deficient.
Iron deficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad enough to the point where she gets infusions done.
Oh, that's bad if you're getting iron infusions.
Right. Anyway, I'm bugging out because I'm literally about to pass out.
Okie doke. So goodbye to everyone in chat. I think it's really only Heath and Roy.
Yeah, Roy said he's out because he's unloading a trailer. So
That's it. Nobody else is here. And of course, John occasionally chatting in there as well.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Leslie's still there.
Oh yeah, and Heath.
Yeah. All right. See you guys. See you next time.
All right, guys, take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.